And the Packers are back on the field at Lambeau for the first time since a playoff matchup in early January against the 49ers. Tonight, the NFL on CBS. Two storied franchises who met back in Super Bowl II, the Raiders and the Packers, coming up tonight here in prime time. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz, along with Super Bowl MVP quarterback Phil Simms. We got a big season ahead here, partner. Not only Sunday action as usual, Thursday night football coming to CBS tonight, a little Friday night football for you.
I like it. You know, I'm ready to work. I'm excited to be back with you. The season's coming about. I'm a fan, so that's going to be good. But tonight's game, it's going to be exciting to watch. Can't wait to see it.
I'll tell you who's excited about this too tonight is Aaron Rodgers. Of course, his season curtailed last year with that broken collarbone injury, and this is a high-octane offense that they're trying to kick it into another gear if they can stay healthy all season long.
I think they basically told us the other day, fasten your seatbelts, we are going to go fast. And why not? When you got the most talented quarterback in the NFL, you want to go out there and show him off. And the best thing of all, the Green Bay Packers, they have fixed their offensive line, so now they can protect him.
Oakland went out and got Matt Schaub in the offseason, the former Texans quarterback, to stabilize that position.
Well, if you want to have a good football team, you got to stabilize the quarterback position, and they finally done it. Matt Schaub, they drafted Derek Carr in the second round. He's got talent, and I'll tell you what, they like their third quarterback a lot too, and Matt McGloin.
All right, let's welcome to our team all season long Tracy Wolfson. It's going to be great to have you with us. Down to you.
Thanks a lot, Jim. I'm here with Packers head coach Mike McCarthy. Mike, this is basically a dress rehearsal before the regular season. What do you want to see out of your team tonight?
Well, we want to get better. Obviously, we're going to play our number ones longer in the first half. So, but also the young guys too. I mean, we can't have enough time with those guys on the field. So we obviously want to continue where we left off last week.
You mentioned it. How long do you think we can see Aaron Rodgers and company tonight?
It depends on how the first half goes. So I mean, it's production's going to be part of the decision.
Thanks a lot. We'll get you back there, Jim.
Well, if it's anything like last week against St. Louis, he may not have to go that long. He had a couple of series, and they marched right down the field against the Rams as Rodgers was near flawless. And a new kicker tonight for the Raiders. They left at home. Sebastian Janikowski's out with a quad injury. So you saw there Kevin Gessling, a rookie from Fresno State, who's also a left-footed booter, and he sends it down to Harris. DeJuan Harris will run it back from 7 deep in the end zone, and he gets past a couple of players, and nice piece of running, a 31-yard return out to about the 28. Here comes Aaron Rodgers, who, Phil, you said that he's the best quarterback in the league.
Well, Jim, I'm not saying the best quarterback. I'm saying he's the most talented. There is nothing he can't do.
All right, his offensive line, and that was a big story last year because they were riddled with injuries, and now this is such a key part of them. Bulaga at right tackle, and there's Lacey, who set numbers, rookie rushing records in franchise history just last year. And here we go with the first snap, and it's Lacey cutting back for about 4. As we meet this Raiders defense, they went to the free agent market big time. Look up front there, including the former Giant Tuck. And the linebacking core, the 5th pick overall, Mack. We're going to be watching him tonight, and the former Packer Woodson in his 17th year. And now they go back to Lacey for a second straight carry, and he is stuffed for no gain by Justin Tuck along with C.O. Moore. So this Raider defense, they went out and got guys like Tuck and Lamar Woodley and Antonio Smith and free agents right across that defensive line.
Want to get better on the defensive line. That's what they did. They got better. They got veterans, so they don't have to blitz as much as they did last year.
Sets up a 3rd and 6 into the gun for Rodgers.
Ready.
Trying to get rid of the football a little quicker this year, and all kinds of early movement here. Jeff Triplett is tonight's official referee.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
They called it on Tuck.
Well, they've trained the offensive linemen so well there. I thought they might say that wasn't enough movement to draw the offensive line out of their stance, but the officials on the field said yes, it was.
Still a 3rd down. 3rd down and 2 for Green Bay. And here's Rodgers. Wide open at the 50. He's got his target. It's Richard Rodgers, the rookie tight end out of California, Berkeley. and a gain of 32.
See a lot of things here. They're thinking maybe it's a run. Nobody follows the tight end up the middle of the field. The Packers love to send the guys right down the middle, go up there, hit those seams, and Aaron Rodgers puts it on the money.
On first down to the ground again, Lacy breaks a tackle and high steps for the first down and a gain of about 13. He slipped out of a tackle from Moore.
Just get in the way of the defenders just a little bit. When you talk about Eddie Lacy, this is an arm breaker. He can break all arm tackles, and so far in the preseason, the Raiders have seen nobody like this guy running the football.
Doesn't take long for the Packers to get back to the line. And Lacy, they're trying to utilize him this year as a 3-down back. And they're going to call his number again. Right side, and he's got room inside the 10 and down to the 4.
The blocking up front, we got to talk about this offensive line and what they have done so far. TJ Lang gets outside, seals it. Eddie Lacy, like we say, getting some room, breaks some tackles, big gain.
Yeah, 17 after a 12-yard gain the previous play, and he's earned another carry down to the 1.
Here's what happens. You come in here, you think, oh, Aaron Rodgers, they're going to throw the football, the hurry-up offense, and what happens? You get run over. The offensive line is athletic. They have no fat guys up there, so they can play at a high speed, and I've already told you about the running backs.
Second and goal, just outside of a yard away. And Rodgers up the middle. He goes with Lacy, and it's a touchdown, Green Bay. Eddie Lacy doing the bulk of the work. 6 carries on that drive for 36 yards and the touchdown.
Yeah, look, great job by the Packers offensive line, but if you're the Oakland Raiders, you rebuilt the defensive line, Jim, you said it, so they could stand in there and be big and take away your running game, and the Packers just ran it right down the throat. Eddie Lacy understands the passing game more, is going to be a big factor that way. Aaron Rodgers, what he say to us about him? Very smart also.
They're going to go for 2 here, Phil. You're going to see all kinds of things here in week 3 of the preseason. And
yep, get some practice on it just in case you get in a tight game, which they have, their opening game of the year up in Seattle. You might need a 2-point conversion, so get used to the plays and just the situation and a little bit of the pressure that comes along with trying to get a short game.
Mike McCarthy in his 9th year. You saw Dennis Allen, year number 3, still the youngest head coach in the NFL was Allen. Let's see if his defense is ready to stop this 2-point try by the Packers. Stack the backfield on the right. Rodgers throws it, and Jordy Nelson has it, and it's 8-0 Green Bay. Just like that. 3 minutes and 7 seconds into the game. A 7-play drive featuring Lacy on 6 of the 7 plays. And there's the 2-point conversion. 8-0. Lacy giving us a little sampling why he was the offensive rookie of the year last season. Rushing for over 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. And a big offside penalty on a 3rd and 7 against Tuck and the Raiders that changed dynamics a bit. Now we're going to see Oakland with Crosby kicking it to him and Latavius Murray back deep. And that goes out of bounds at the 8. So excellent starting field position coming up for Schaub and the Raiders.
Off out of bounds, kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 40-yard line, first down.
All right, Matt Schaub, after 7 seasons in Oakland, took the Texans, 7 years in Houston, took the Texans to the playoffs a couple of times, went to the Pro Bowl a couple of times, and of course a miserable year just a year ago. There's Penn, free agent signee from Tampa, and James Jones, the former Packer. And keep an eye on Maurice Jones-Drew, who is the starting running back, and he is backed up by Darren McFadden. From the 40, Schaub looking to throw, and he's got his target, and a flag is out as Jones comes right back to Lambeau and makes the catch for 9. Jones, who had spent 7 seasons right here in Green Bay.
And that almost felt like, hey, James Jones, you're going back to Green Bay, let's throw you a pass.
Yeah, let's get you into it early. Did they just pick up the flag?
Well, no, what they're trying to decide, do you want it second and short?
Illegal contact, defense, number 50. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is second down.
So they got about a half yard to go.
Oh, there it is. A.J. Hawk in the middle of the field just put his hands past the 5-yard mark against Rivera, and that is so easy to see. Those linebackers exposed, nobody around them. You got to keep your hands to yourself after 5 yards.
Second and inches, and here's Jones Drew up the middle for the first down. His Green Bay defense, and this is really something that's a tribute to the Packers organization. It's kind of a homegrown defensive unit. They've come through the draft, or they were undrafted rookies that they developed through their system, but they did pick up Julius Peppers in the offseason, coming over from division rival Chicago.
Well, this whole team is homegrown just about, Jim. Julius Peppers, you need somebody on the other side of Clay Matthews, and I think they found the guy. He can solidify the run defense on the edge, and every once in a while pressure the quarterback.
Jones Drew wide to the left, and Shaw goes right and has another completion to James Jones for 6 yards. How about matchup? Change of scenery.
Oh,
Got to
yeah.
be a good thing for him.
Oh, I'm sure he couldn't wait. Hey, look, it was up. Time was over in Houston. Everybody knew it. Of course he did. He comes into a great situation, a team that's trying to reestablish everything about what they do, and they really needed help at quarterback. And we talked about in the opening, Jim, a good, solid veteran who's had a good career, and the two backups, they all can play.
He says he feels fresh and invigorated, loves the chance to play for a storied franchise. 2nd and 4. And it's Jones Drew again working the middle for about 2. So Shaw had some big seasons in Houston. He was their starter all those years. 130 touchdown passes in 3 years. He was over 4,000 yards. But last season, things started to go wrong, and then the fans in Houston were on him early, and it just got worse by the week with all these pick sixes going the other way.
He's a consistent thrower of the football. Probably can't turn it up and throw that fastball sometimes, but very accurate when he has time.
3rd and 2, and Jones Drew breaks tackles, and he's inside the 20 and taken off for the touchdown. They had him at the line of scrimmage, and Jones Drew was able to slip out of it 40 yards for the touchdown. He got away from A.J. Hawk.
How about that? The Packers defense, they gamble everybody up near the line of scrimmage, and Maurice Jones-Drew, he said, I'm stronger than I've ever been. I'm as fast as ever because no more injuries. Broke the tackles, good move, and gives the Raiders a touchdown.
Jones Drew said it took him 2 years to get healthy after a foot injury. Derailed him in Jacksonville.
Raider fan growing up, and he is pumped to be out there in that uniform, and they are happy to have him. He has shown the skills.
And they'll go for only the one for an 8-7 score here just 5.5 minutes into the game. Each team taking it down the field for first possession touchdowns.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Just for Men. Just you and the look you want. AT&T, helping you do what you do even better. AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
We've had 12 total plays in this game. 6 of them have gone for first downs and a couple of touchdowns.
Well, that's what the NFL wants. They want more scoring, and they're making these rules and keeping it safer. We saw it on those 2 opening drives.
Gessling's kick back of the end zone will not be returned.
Well, look, what a combination. You have Aaron Rodgers throwing the football. That makes the defense worry. And then you put the big guy behind an offensive line that is motivated and hustles. And look at the tackles. He just walks through them. He runs heavy, puts his feet in the ground, so when you hit him, you're not going to knock him off balance. And, of course, it helps, Jim, when you have 2 guys, each one of them is 34 inches around. That kind of helps, too. And his arms are about 20, but hard man to bring down, and what a pick the Packers got last year.
And as you can see, they're going to alternate backs here. It Starks. What a 1-2 combo that is. And back to Rodgers for a gain of about 9.
This offensive line, they are trained to go with this hurry-up offense. They get right up to the line as soon as he calls it. And I said it earlier, I mean it. Nobody, they're all in really good shape. No fat guys in this offensive line. That's what you need.
Here is Starks. Off the toss. And he's about a foot shy of the first. Pretty good combo, though, as I mentioned, when you've got Lacey and you're backed up by James Starks.
Yeah, mini-me. You know, he's just another James Lacey. Not quite as big, maybe, but here they are at the line again. You don't have time to think. What's your assignment? Snap the ball.
3rd and 1, and Starks has the first. And a gain of a couple. Fantasy football fans, if you want the best fantasy games, it's time to play the most awarded site. Create or join a league now, cbssports.com/football. It's that time of the year. Get into the game, cbssports.com. New set of downs for the Packers.
Green 18.
Got quiet the crowd in there. Listen.
Long ball time. Rodgers. Incomplete. Down the field for Nelson, and Rodgers got hit after the throw as Moore was in his face.
It's about as long as he's going to hold the football. The block is there, but C.O. Moore just blasts his way through there to get the hit. Now, you look at this game. The hurry-up offense, the Oakland Raiders, a hostile crowd. It's full. Everybody's in the house. You're playing a hurry-up offense. They need this practice. Why? Because they play the Denver Broncos twice a year. Great practice for this defense.
2nd down and 10. And Rodgers had a lot of time, throws it away. You know, a year ago, they had all these plans going into the 13 season, and then right out of the box, they had injuries on the line with Bulaga. Their center went out. All things just kind of like blew up on them. And with that reworked offensive line, they weren't able to kick it into that high-octane gear they were hoping for.
No question. When your offensive line gets beat up or gets subpar, your team is not going to win a lot of games, period, in the NFL.
3rd and 10. And Rodgers extending the play. And shuffle pass to Starks somehow. And he wiggles near the first. Just a little bit short.
Interesting. What a job by Aaron Rodgers. As he's back, watch the coverage initially pretty good because the defense knows the down and the distance, but the ability of Aaron Rodgers, quick feet, things he worked on all offseason, he showed it there on that play, and I'm not surprised they're going for it. I think they probably would have gone for it in a regular season game too.
Just inches away, 4th down, and Rodgers gives it to Starks. Raiders are there, but they could not bring him down. We have a flag out. Nick Roach on the tackle, but a couple of Raiders had a chance to keep him short of the 1st down yardage, and it might be a holding call against Green Bay.
Well, they ran outside, a slanting defense. What I mean by that, they crowded the line of scrimmage, and every defensive lineman was moving to the right. The offense is left, makes it tough blocks for the offensive lineman, and that's why you got to hold. Got to find out, Jim, if it's a 1st down or not here. I thought he was short on the run.
I thought he got it, but it was close. If it's short, Oakland will decline the penalty. He got it. And now they'll go ahead and take the holding call.
Holding offense, number 73. The 10-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
Well, that's a big play for the Green Bay Packers because now they get the... Oh, yeah, you can see it inside. J.C. Treader, that is just a tough block. He has to reach across, go down the line, almost impossible to make that block. And Antonio Smith, a high-energy defensive tackle who plays upfield very well.
Treader, the starting center, who missed all of last year with an injury in the spring of 13, just after he had been drafted out of Cornell. This is the 4th different starting center for Aaron Rodgers in 4 years. But they like him, and he's healthy. Mastay is the punter for the Packers. And 5th year out of Kentucky. With T.J. Carey, the returner for Oakland, another flag. And bobbled for a moment. Flag down on this end as well. Carey falls on it after a 47-yard punt. So we got penalties back at the line of scrimmage and then 47 yards away. The number of penalties we've seen so far in the preseason, it's up significantly.
Well, it is, and
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation. Number 54 is in the backfield, not on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. Kick catch interference. Kicking team. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout.
Jim, the penalties are up. They're trying to make a point, and I think all the players in the league are getting that point.
So Schaub and the Raiders with a good first series. They'll have excellent starting position again when they come onto the field in a moment. Along with Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson, and the Raiders will take this snap from the 37. 2 special teams mistakes by the Packers, setting up Oakland on its first 2 series. First time the kick was out of bounds, set them up at the 40, and now this last penalty, here they are at the 37. You saw McFadden in the backfield. Jones-Drew will start this series on the sideline. Schaub's in trouble, and he's taken down with a flag as well. As you saw, Julius Peppers kind of tripped him.
Holding. Number 67 of the offense. That penalty is declined. Second down.
Okay, so
6'5", 280, Jim. He swings that arm, hits your feet, you're going down. Matt Schaub couldn't get away, and last week he really flashed against the St. Louis Rams. And look at, when you're in these closed-door meetings, we hear the truth, and they're very happy to have Julius Peppers here.
active players, he's third on the list behind Abraham and Jared Allen, who also changed teams in the division, went from Minnesota to Chicago. 2nd and 15. There's McFadden on the handle for a yard. That run by Maurice Jones-Drew, we've heard about how healthy he's gotten. It took him 2 years, and he told us, I'm lean again.
Good read, and here's the cut. Gets by Micah Hyde. A.J. Hawk can't bring him down because we know Maurice Jones-Drew has those strong legs. And the Oakland Raiders make no bones about it. They want to be a power-running football team. I think they have a chance to do that. The big question is, do they have a wide receiver that can help put this offense and give it some advantages to make those big plays? We'll see.
They've got Denarius Moore in it, wide out, 3rd down 14. They go short. It's McFadden, and the Packers defense is there. Hyde drops him for a 2-yard loss.
Well, there you see it. Micah Hyde, a safety last year, played some corner when he was in college, but he's a utility guy. He can do anything for you. He can play the linebacker or the safety in 3rd down situations, and he's an excellent tackler too. Green Bay play a lot of guys on defense. That's what they want to do this year.
Marquette King to kick it to Randall Cobb. King, who last year averaged almost 49 yards a punt, top gross average in the league. He's going to have big numbers here as Cobb fields it while falling down at the 11. 58-yard boot. Dennis Allen trying to change the culture in Oakland. And the Packers defense that series stepped up, forced a 3-and-out. And Dylan McDermott, star in the new CBS drama Stalker. The obsession begins Wednesdays this fall after Criminal Minds, only CBS. Rodgers is still in there. Starks is the running back. Any chance we don't see Lacey the rest of the night?
Oh, I think he proved the point, don't you? He
Yeah.
got out here, I believe. And what they saw last year, it wasn't no sophomore funk or whatever they call it. That cliche, that's gone.
And there's a pass wide of Starks. I think it's called the jinx.
Yeah, sophomore jinx, whatever it is. It's just something somebody made up. But, hey, right there is what you're going to see a lot. Aaron Rodgers, he learned a lot last year. He got hurt, we know that. But don't extend plays so much, Jimmy. We heard him talk about it. look out there. If it's not open, look for those running backs right away. Get rid of the football fast. Just didn't connect with Starks that time.
Second and 10.
Mike. Ready, set up.
And there's Starks for 3. And the tackle there by Khalil Mack, the rookie out of Buffalo, who fell to the 5th overall pick in the draft. There were a lot of people who thought for a while he might go number 1 in the draft.
Yeah, probably
the Raiders were thrilled he fell to them.
Yeah, probably wouldn't go number 1, Jim. Why? Because you want that number 1 guy to be a quarterback or somebody that can hit the quarterback. He's a good pass rusher, not great right now.
3rd and 7, and Rodgers has pressure, and he is taken down by Lamar Woodley, the former Steeler.
Got to like what they're seeing, the Raiders. They got their feet under them after that first drive, and they are beating this offensive line that I was bragging about. But the power, that's what they have. They got some big guys. You got Woodley tuck inside. And there's Mack that time. Nice job getting to the edge. Makes the quarterback step up, gets the sack.
So after allowing the Packers to drive down the field and score on them the first possession of the game, they've stopped them the last 2. Mastay had pressure. Carey runs away from it. Ball bounces at the 46 and is down at the 48. 39-yard punt. Raiders will have it on the Packers side of the field here in the first quarter when we come back. We're back at Lambeau Field, and the Oakland Raiders coming off a pair of 4-12 seasons. But you look down in warm-ups and you talk to Reggie McKenzie, and they've been building a foundation Allen's first 2 years.
Yep.
And now you can finally see that perhaps it's time to make the move.
Turn the roster over in 3 years. They've been there. And look, it's what they said. We don't know how we're going to be. At least we look the part of an NFL team now, and he's right.
On first down, it's McFadden on the toss and trying to get outside and cuts in for about 3 yards. Let's go down to Tracy Wilson.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. On the Packers sideline, in his 9th season, Mike McCarthy made some changes this year going in. He changed the practice schedule. On Fridays now, they will be off, but they will have mandatory treatments, 2 treatments, whether it's massage or seeing a chiropractor. And then on Saturday, they will do game day activity, a short but brisk practice, including game situations, ball drills, and team exercises. McCarthy told us it's all about risk versus opportunity, and Jordy Nelson told us yesterday it definitely helped with injuries and fatigue going into the season.
2nd and 7, to expound on that a little bit, they've gone through everything, not only the nutrition and diet, but down to sleeping routines for their players.
Yeah, everything. Just trying to get the players to be as efficient and as good as they possibly can be. I do like what he's saying. This could be a trendsetter. The big thing is Wednesday, Thursday, big days. Friday off, get rested. Friday, rehearse what you want to do in the game. And Mike McCarthy also said, which I believe, on Mondays you come in, maybe the most important day of the week, because you correct what you did wrong in the game on Sunday in that Monday film session. So we'll see how it works for him this year. If it works really well, then other teams will copy it.
Jordy Nelson told us he loved it. Here's a 3rd and 6 and a timeout called by the Raiders.
You mean let's see, let me think about this, Jim. So you mean on Friday I got to come in and get a massage and get worked by a chiropractor? They got to do at least 2.
I heard they're going to do that for the broadcasters, too. CBS is going to go to this whole new strategy, too, to be prepared for the games.
Yeah, I don't know.
Massages on Friday.
Well, that's the kind of life you lead. No, this is true. Now, I've been out of the game a long time. But until my 15th year was the first time that I ever had, like what you want to call a recuperating workout or a massage or anything like that. Now, it's, hey, the Packers are making it mandatory, and we talk to them all the time. All the players in the league, Jim, they all really take care of their bodies.
I've noticed you've made up for lost time.
What, the eating department?
No, the massage.
Oh, the massage, yeah, right.
Up to 4 or 5 a week now, isn't it?
I wish.
3rd down and 6. Greg Little. They want to get a good look at him, the former Cleveland wideout.
Right.
He's in a slot to the right.
They want him to turn in and be something special. Athletically, he can be.
Ashab. That pass wide of the mark and almost a theft by Sam Shields. Thrown in the direction of James Jones.
Yep, Sam Shields was just a more aggressive guy at the line of scrimmage. 89 in the slot, cuts back in. Oh, he lets his feet. They get under outside of his body. That's why he slips.
And it's a second straight 3 and out for Schaub and company. Let's see if King can get this punt down somewhere inside the 10. Take a little something off of it. Micah Hyde is down there for the Packers. He runs away from it. And King's punt gets the job done. Well, Thursday night football. We are so fired up about it. And our debut is just a few weeks away, when the Pittsburgh Steelers will be taking on the Baltimore Ravens to get it all started. Here's a look at our first 7 games in collaboration with our teammates from NFL Network. All division games you see right here. And it starts with one of the nastiest, meanest rivalries in the game. Pittsburgh-Baltimore, Thursday, September 11th.
Yeah, I like that. 2 teams that actually just publicly will tell you how much they dislike the other one. So that usually turns out to be a pretty good football game.
1st and 10. Now into the hands. Randall Cobb. Well, this divisional strategy for Thursday night, it's the first time the league ever went to that concept for the Thursday night games to lead off, to get football started. You're going to get that intensity. You're going to get the old rivalries. The energy's going to be there.
Well, that's right. It makes it easier to prepare because you're ready for them during the offseason, and travel will be cut down too, Jim. Most of the teams are close.
2nd and 10, and again, that ball off the hands of Cobb. He had a defender. He had Rodgers right on him. Well, you're going to have Roethlisberger and Flacco. Of course, they know each other so well, and they're always tight games, it seems, between Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I like your point, though, about cutting down on travel as well, and preparation against a familiar foe.
Preparation might be the biggest. When you're the teams you prepare the most for during the offseason are the teams that are in your division.
3rd and 10. Rodgers has completed only one of his last 6 throws, and he has a flag down as he tried to dump it off to Starks.
Well, they're getting overpowered. Looks like a hold.
And Lamar Woodley was creating havoc in the backfield.
Holding, number 69 of the offense. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
I tell you, Woodley has looked really good here at the start. So is that new defensive front with 3 new members coming by way of free agency.
Here he comes. Yes, they have, and that's what I think. If you want a good defense, you got to be able to hit the quarterback, and they got 4 guys: Justin Tuck, Antonio Smith, Lamar Woodley, and Mack. Those are the 4. They have to come through, and you got to be careful when you judge preseason football sometimes. The Raiders look like they got their legs back under them. Last week they scrimmaged the Cowboys, then played an exhibition game. That's pretty tough stuff.
3rd straight punt for the Packers, and 2 straight 3 and outs as Carey watches that one go sailing to the sideline. So we keep talking about the former Texan, the former Steeler, the former Jaguar, and Jones Drew. This is a look at, well, we call them recycled Raiders, and they all have something to prove here.
Yeah, they do.
With their old teams, and now with the silver and black.
They look good in the silver and black, and, you know, there's nothing like a good player who's motivated and a little mad at the situation he's in. Sometimes they put themselves in that situation. Can be money, whatever. But also, Terrell Brown, Carlos Rogers, their imports also, the 2 starting corners for the Raiders. So a lot of moving parts. And watching their 2 games in preseason so far and this start, they've done a good job of putting it together.
Of course, recycling Raiders, that was something that was a trademark of Al Davis. And those that you saw a moment ago, Dennis Allen telling us, these are guys who have done it before. They know how to win. And they're trying to lead this team in a new direction. 1st down from the 45. Schaub, and that pass not on target for James Jones. Now the Raiders have had incredible starting field possession. Their first 4 series.
But they have, Jim. Just watch Menelik Watson, a guy I think we want to keep our eye on. Is against Clay Matthews. And this Raider line gets a little bit overpowered at first, but able to regain his balance. And he's a big key to this line. Him, the center. They drafted Gabe Jackson, a left guard, in the 3rd round. They got the makings of a really solid offensive line.
Watson, who was injured almost all of his rookie year, Second-round pick a year ago out of Florida State. And now to Rivera, the tight end, and the ball's out. Once he hit the ground, they're going to rule him down. It was recovered by House.
The ground contact takes you to the ground, and the ground cannot cause the fumble. Does it come out? It looks like it comes out once he hits, his arm does hit the ground, so no fumble.
Lands right on top of his helmet, too.
Man, you know,
frightening.
It's very common now. We see players, they jump way too often, and there's not many good things that can come about.
Rivera's spine, only a 1-yard gain, 3rd and 10. They officially give him no gain as Shop's pass across the middle falls to the ground, incomplete. Again, he's been targeting a lot here tonight. James Jones had a couple of hookups with him on that opening scoring drive, but nothing since. House on the pass defense right there.
Well, Schaub was under pressure, a little blitz, and you got a line that's trying to come together. They do the hard thing. They cross each other in the 2 gaps by the center. The Raiders in 3 games or 2.5 preseason games have really struggled with twisting and tricks up front by pass rushers.
John Kondo to snap it back to Marquette King. And that's Micah Hyde stepping up. Drops it after signaling for the fair catch. And now a flag is out. Hyde recovered his own bobble. Now he had been on the blitz for Shop on 3rd down. Then he dropped back to try to field that punt and almost made a mistake.
After the play is over, personal foul. Number 31 of the kicking team. Smack to the face. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Nico Thorpe called for the infraction, and now that changes in this little chess match here. The better part of the first quarter changes field position for the Packers.
Yeah, Nico Thorpe misses his first preseason action. He's had a chance to get out there, overcoming a little injury. They're excited to watch him play tonight because he had such a good camp before he got hurt.
Well, it's Eddie Lacy back in the game. And that'll probably be the last play of the first quarter. Well, that was
what happened to the offense.
Actually, it was DeJuan Harris carrying that ball.
After the play is over, personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 55 of the defense. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play, first down.
Boy, another personal foul penalty. That one on C.O. Moore. And that's the one that got him.
Yep. They've been strict on that this preseason, too. A lot of personal foul flags have been thrown.
And they don't get a playoff. That's the end of the first quarter. Boy, they sprinted down the field, each team at the start. Now they're settling in. 8-7 Packers after 1. Goes with Lacy, and it's a touchdown. Rodgers throws it just like that, and it's 8-0. Jones drew, breaks tackles, taken off for the touchdown. Yes, it's 8-7 Green Bay as we start the second quarter here at Lambeau Field. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms and Tracy Wolfson as we launch our season. The NFL on CBS. Going to include Thursday night football for the first time ever on our network. From the 50, first down, Rodgers and the Packers. And here's the pass to Harris. And Harris, good job of breaking tackles. And he takes it all the way down to the 19.
Great job. They got the defense going backwards, thinking it's going to be a pass down the field. Aaron Rodgers, an excellent screen thrower, and screens are a big part of this offense always. So if you get a little frisky on the pass rush, which the Raiders have been winning that war for most of the first quarter. Screens are a great way to slow them down.
Harris, who spent last year on IR after in 2012 getting starts in a couple of postseason games and scoring a couple of touchdowns.
Looks pretty motivated. Now we got 3 guys that are not afraid to break some arm tackles, and they know how to run once they get that football.
A little pirouette move by Rodgers, and he comes to the right side to Nelson for a gain of 6.
Well, nice move. Aaron Rodgers was really upset by this because the football was low, and that makes the receiver a little slower getting down the field and taking advantage of maybe that extra couple yards.
That's the first catch by a Packer wideout in this game. 2nd and 3. That's thrown behind Richard Rodgers. They're trying to figure out this tight end position and who's going to replace Jermichael Finley. And already Richard Rodgers, the rookie from Cal's, had a couple of catches.
Yeah, that was Aaron Rodgers' fault. He was double thought it, waited too long.
3rd and 3 to the end zone. Oh, and for a moment I thought Nelson would have it. But with the hand in there to break it up is T.J. Carey.
T.J. Carey, they've been happy with what he's done. He can play the nickel linebacker, but pretty rough outside. And you play the Green Bay Packers, you see a lot of these types of throws. He had his hands in there, Jim. Looks like a good play where they throw it behind the defender before you can look. The receivers know to turn. They know how to turn. Look for that football.
Carey, 7th round pick out of Ohio, and here come the Packers on 4th down, going for it.
Yeah, it's a preseason call for sure here.
4th and 3, and they've got Nelson, and he breaks away from Carey this time for the touchdown and a Lambeau leap.
Well, we just talked about it, didn't we? These type of throws, the back shoulder throw, here comes the blitz. Everybody's picked up, and Jordy Nelson, a big, strong guy. What did he tell us the other day? I like it when defenders around me because I know where they're at. I can feel them, and of course, he knows how to nudge them to get enough space to make the catch.
Testing out those rookie corners. Carey had just made a great play on 3rd down. They're going to go for 2 again here, folks. That Oakland secondary still waiting for the return of DJ Hayden, recovering from that stress fracture in his foot. So once again, 2-point attempt by the Packers. Dancing around, flipping it up, incomplete. Woodson got a hand on it, actually. Intended for Devontae Adams, the rookie out of Fresno State. But here's the touchdown. It goes to Jordy Nelson. And the Packers lead it at 14-7. Brett Favre lookalike you're going to see here in a minute in the stands after that Lambeau leap as Jordy Nelson shares it with the fans here, the great fans of Green Bay. Recently named by Forbes magazine the best fans in football.
Not going to disagree. I was a little disappointed tonight, though, Jim. I saw some empty seats during warm-up. Usually don't see any.
By the way, the first ever Lambeau leap came in a game between the LA Raiders and the Packers, and Leroy Butler was the one who started it. And just a moment ago, watch Jordy. Watch the little girl on the left side.
Is
that Brett Favre there with the cap, too?
Oh, it looked like it with the beard.
Yeah. And now outside they have the statue where you can take the picture and pretend that you're a part of the Lambeau leap from outside. Of course, they have tours running all summer long. It's the biggest attraction in the state.
Let me tell you something, that Lambeau leap, to be able to get down and see that wall, we wouldn't try it, that's for sure.
All right, Oakland gives Murray his first handle, Latavius Murray, and he's decked for a loss of a couple.
How about Julius Peppers? Is he showing up? Boy, he looked excited when we talked to him. He's played last game against St. Louis, he really did an excellent job, and here tonight went from 297. He's lost about 15 pounds, faster. He says he feels better, and of course being on the opposite side of Clay Matthews doesn't hurt. Not going to see as many double teams as he has seen in the past.
Empty out the backfield here for Schaub. Oakland hasn't done anything offensively since that opening touchdown drive. In fact, they've lost now 4 yards on their last 4 drives. Here's the pass over to Reese. And the Raiders' lone Pro Bowler from a year ago with a short gain. And let's go back down to Tracy.
Guys, one injury update for the Packers. I was just told nose tackle B.J. Raji has a right arm injury. He is out for the game. And just to note, his backup, LaTroy Guyan, didn't even play because of a hamstring, so a little bit of shuffling going on there, guys.
Well, that's a big deal. You got to hope nothing's wrong. B.J. Raji this year back over the center, a nose tackle. That's where he belongs, and he looked really good in the first couple games. Very active, quick, and in excellent shape.
3rd and 8, and Schaub has that one broken up. He was trying to thread it in there to Rivera, and Burnett denied it.
Yeah, the receiver, Rivera, kind of stops. It allows the defender just that little extra time, and they are loaded with defensive backs here in Green Bay. Burnett, one of the safeties. You know, Clinton Dix was drafted. Hyde, Richardson. Last year they had a safety, Chris Banjo, that played a lot. They have depth. Helps you get some rest when you change positions, but also you can overcome injuries.
Rivera late to come in here on the punt team for Oakland as King once again for the 4th time now will punt it. Sidesteps to field the snap, and Hyde has to backpedal to the 16. He leaves his feet and lands and takes off for another 7 or 8. 62-yard punt, 19-yard run back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Burger King. Mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches only at Burger King. And by Verizon. More live games than ever before with NFL Mobile.
Not only did we not see the return of Eddie Lacy in the Green Bay backfield after the first series, but no more Maurice Jones-Drew after their opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, and Darren McFadden maybe also. Listen, these running backs give everybody a little bit of, you want these offensive lines, but running backs, it takes such punishment, you got to be extremely careful.
You saw Brad Jones hobbling on the sideline for Green Bay. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers is still in there. And Harris able to race out for a quick 9 with a flag. Well, it makes you wonder, though. You always hear about week 3.
Holding, number 30 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
It's the big dress rehearsal. It's the important preseason game to give your first teamers a chance to get in rhythm and play a couple of quarters, because you're, in theory, not going to play in week 4 of the preseason.
Yeah, that's right. But and I understand your point here, but I'm just saying, in today's league, these running backs, the size of these defenders, the defensive linemen, the hits, Maurice Jones-Drew, he doesn't need to see a defense anymore. He's been running the football his whole life, so you can take him out. Eddie Lacy, Jim, just look at him. Big, strong guy, takes a lot of hits. You don't want to risk that, especially with the start.
1st and 16, and here's Harris. Oh, and what a nice run that is.
Looked like Eddie Lacy going through there, didn't he? Just
really
about.
Did. Gain of 18 and a first.
You know, when you're a guy like Harris, you're the 3rd running back, your opportunities are not going to be plentiful. So they come in, and it is just nothing to the wall. Everything they got to get some yards and earn a spot on this football team. Good job.
Mentioned Harris was out last year with an injury, plus last week against the Rams he lost a fumble. So he's a hungry running back, and he's got the ball again. And he's able to spin out of the first hit and pick up 3.
Well, we still got the starting offensive line, starting defense basically in there for both teams.
C.O. Moore is down on the field, starting weak side linebacker for the Raiders.
Raiders do have some depth at linebacker, but C.O. Moore, they like 50 tackles, 4.5 sacks last year. He can really run. His biggest problem is he's fast, and so he wants to take off and chase everything and gets out of position every once in a while. But an excellent player for the Raiders.
We'll step aside for a moment here in Lambeau with the injury to Moore. They brought out the cart for C.O. Moore. a second-year player out of the University of Connecticut, drafted last year in the 3rd round, who had 11 starts as a rookie. Looked like he got hit in the side of the helmet. Got hit by John Kuhn coming in from the side. As the Packers send some support crew over there to help stabilize Moore for a moment. Joining forces here with the Oakland medical team led by Rod Martin.
Here it comes this way, 55. Yeah, it definitely looks like, Jim, just a hit by Kuhn. Couldn't really see it. Could be helmets, could be his forearm that hits him. Yeah, that was a good shot that time. You can see how maybe it happened. I know everybody's concerned, no doubt about that, his family. So whenever we find something out, we will let everybody know.
Charles Woodson coming over and passing along an encouraging word. Davon Branch over there. Some other D coordinator, Tarver. Easton Tuck. Pat Sims. Antonio Smith. Love to see the thumbs up. Well, back to the game here where the Packers have a 2nd and 7 on their own 48.
Green 18. Green 18.
That's Harris carrying the football after the short dump off pass and a first down to the Oakland 41, gain of 11.
That time it looked like this play was designed because everybody's deep, that Aaron Rodgers almost immediately was looking for the running back Harris that time. When you see safeties go deep, there's an extra defensive back. Look for the guys underneath, and Aaron Rodgers did it well that time.
Miles Burris has come in for more. And that linebacking crew for the Raiders. And Burris right there, 56, is in fact in on that tackle.
And we talked about it, Jim, what a dress rehearsal this is for the Raiders defense because of who they play, the Denver Broncos twice, and also San Diego, who likes to run the hurry-up offense. But their defensive line, you've got to admit, there's been some really good bright spots, and every once in a while, the corners covering these receivers pretty well down the field.
James Starks in, play action fake to Starks, and the pass incomplete, but they got a flag right down there in the area where Jordy Nelson was the intended receiver.
Illegal contact, 38 defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And of course the illegal contact, a point of emphasis in the preseason, and it's being called over and over again.
Well, just watch. 5 yards, 6 yards, then gets in front and impedes his progress. There's about 3 penalties there. Just wasn't enough flags, but TJ Carey, rookie in the NFL, has just got to learn that.
First down from the Oakland 35. And Rodgers going to be angry with himself with that throw to Starks. And so here are the points of emphasis from the league this year. Offensive pass interference, OPI, illegal contact and holding beyond 5 yards, the false start, and illegal hands to the face in close line play.
The false start, they're getting on quarterbacks. Seen it called quite a bit, jerking their hands, bobbing their head.
That's 2nd and 10. And the running play with Starks for 5. Just a reminder, coming up the Verizon halftime report, we're going to have an update on the Barclays, the leadoff event, PGA Tour playoffs for the FedEx Cup. And we'll introduce you to the newest member of the CBS Sports family, Mike Carey, who's going to be along all season for us, Thursday night and on Sundays, to be there anytime there's any kind of question about challenges, reviews, penalty calls. We're going to be visiting with Mike Carey at halftime. 3rd down and 5 for Green Bay. Rodgers has it, working that sideline and down to the 7.
It was a blitz by the defense, and this is how you want your quarterback to react in the NFL. Don't wait. He sees right away he could get outside the pocket because of the pressure inside, and the defender does the wrong thing. Leaves, starts way too quick. Easy throw for Aaron Rodgers.
First and goal to go.
Great arm, throws with touch, doesn't hesitate to move, avoids hits whenever possible.
Pitch to Starks, and the Raiders are right there to knock him down, and it's Khalil Mack.
And the other thing is the Raiders, they're not going to face an Aaron Rodgers and every week. You don't get this type of offense or this type of quarterback that you have to deal with.
2nd and goal.
Quick job. 319.
And Rodgers again. Buying time to the end zone, incomplete in the direction of Randall Cobb.
Well, that's what he does so well. How about that? The coverage is there. There's nowhere to go. He's not a high-risk thrower. He's not going to take chances and try to drive it between 2 defenders, but he does something a lot of quarterbacks you can learn from. Of course, he's got great feet, but when he feels no pressure, he goes backwards. When he moves backwards, it makes the defensive line stop. I see it time and time again, and it's a great move by Aaron Rodgers.
3rd and goal. Snap from the Raiders 8. They go to the ground with Starks. And the Raiders were not fooled. The helmet comes flying off. And that defender still just jumps right in there. Antonio Smith.
Well, 3rd downs inside. Antonio Smith, Justin Tuck. They are the active players. And Jim, down in Houston, pretty mad at somebody for getting a helmet ripped off.
And now the flag is out. Smith was making an appeal that someone made too much contact right to the grill, to the face grill, and let's see what happens here.
After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 94 in the defense. Half the distance to goal, automatic first down.
Oh, wow. Well, that's why he's upset. Helmet comes off, then he's thrown to the ground by the back of his jersey.
Oh, and they're taking him off the field.
Well, Jim, they tell you don't retaliate. That's hard not to in a situation like that.
So first and goal. On what was a stop and would have been a change of possession. Instead, the Packers set up now to go in. Just a little too long for Boykin with Thorpe on the coverage.
Besides that first pass right down the middle that we saw tonight to Rodgers, really been nothing easy. It's a really quick out of his hand, but nice coverage again. That time by the Raiders defensive backs.
That was Nico Thorpe.
That was Nico Thorpe. They said for the first week he didn't give up one completion in any drill.
Starks is going to be dropped for a loss. And again, it's Khalil Mack.
Yeah, kill it. People say, where is he? When are we going to start seeing the flash? Well, it's not Lawrence Taylor coming to the NFL, but he's playing linebacker outside. Jim, he plays defensive end sometimes on third down. And I think he's been very solid the first two outings, learning the game, a high-effort guy, loves football, and it shows.
Third and goal. He's got a couple of tackles for losses on this drive. It is now some 6 minutes long for the Packers. Rodgers has the pass in there for the touchdown to Corliss. Andrew Corliss.
Well, they sure want to see him come through at the tight end position. Aaron Rodgers talked about him. I hope he becomes very consistent. Middle of your screen, 81, quick move. How about the quick throw by Aaron Rodgers, right on target. These short dart passes, really hard to stop by the defense because he gets there so quick. And Aaron Rodgers just gets it out of his hands so fast.
You know, Mike McCarthy says no reason tonight to be attempting extra points. Let's go for yet another 2-point conversion. Successful on their first one of the night, not their second. And that's knocked down, but a flag is out. They're going back to Corliss. And again, it was Thorpe defending, but too much contact.
Pass interference, defense, number 31. Half the distance to the goal, replay the try.
Contact still grabbing the receiver while the football's in the air. It was a good job, really, initially by Thorpe. He had both arms extended. He kind of stopped him in his tracks. If he'd have just let it go, there would have been no chance to get that completion.
Thorpe, who played back in 2012 with the Chiefs in 9 games, and then all of last year was up in Canada playing. Signed in January with the Raiders, and they're excited about his prospects.
They wanted to see him tonight. I would be surprised if he gets a lot of playing time. All the new defensive backs for the Raiders have one thing in common. All of them are tall and great size.
Again, the 2-point conversion, and driving it right past Burris, who had come in for C.O. Moore, and they have their 2 points. 3 Oakland penalties on the drive, including one on the first 2-point attempt. And it's 22-7 Green Bay. They call themselves Scorpion, 4 of the smartest people in the world working together to fight threats against America. Inspired by a true story, Scorpion, Mondays this fall, only CBS.
It was a touchdown drive by the Green Bay Packers, but that was work, Jim, and it definitely was not pretty.
And remember, it had been stopped on
right.
4th down, but the penalty on Smith on the retaliation kept the drive going for the Packers.
Yep.
Crosby drives this one. And the line drive caught at the 5-yard line. And Stewart has a run back just across the 20. Well, 39 plays have been run by the Packers, yielding 14 first downs. And Oakland early in this game had all kinds of great starting position and was only able to muster 1 touchdown out of 4 drives that were starting right around midfield or better.
Yeah, right. Here's one thing I know. The Green Bay defense, they got to like what they've shown so far, and they got their backups in there right now. And I'm telling you, there's not a big drop-off. For the Raiders, they got to be a little disappointed. The wide receivers, they need plays.
Schaub's pass flags out. That was Moore on the receiving end. Shields defending.
It's going to be against the defense, but that's what you want to see. You want to see wide receivers make the contested catches.
Pass interference, defense, number 37. Defense.
That's a good thing right there, Jim.
On the foul, first down.
The officials didn't have to go up and telling the numbers and all that. The headsets they're wearing really speeds the process up.
Yeah, this year all the officials can communicate instead of having to run around and find the referee to explain it. They have the line of communication now, the headsets. First down. Finally, the Raiders have one. Almost 20 minutes of action, and there's another flag out.
Oh, yes, definitely. Just way too much contact down the sideline.
And Shields, back-to-back plays. It's going to be the culprit. Again, it was
interference, defense, number 37. Ball will be placed in the spot of the foul, first down.
Let's get a report from Tracy.
Well, thanks, Jim. We saw linebacker Sio Moore taken off the field earlier in this quarter, and the only update I have gotten so far is he was taken to the hospital for further evaluation. They do not want to speculate as to whether it was the head or the neck. If we get anything further, we'll surely pass it on.
Thank you, Tracy. 1st and 10 for the Raiders after back-to-back penalties on Shields. Murray has only a yard with that carry.
You know, Jim, here's what happened. You remember all the hits we were having, defenseless receivers, using, launching yourself and all that. We thought they'll never get used to it, the players. And what they do, they adjusted. So I really do, as I watch this and think, hey, these NFL players got a lot of talent. And they're testing how far they can go. They're finding out they're not going to get away with it. And they'll make the adjustments as we go along, I think.
2nd and 9. And Schaub looking for Jones, and that's out of bounds. Do you mean you think come regular season time, the number of penalties will drop?
I'm going to say I think they will, because the downside is so bad. The preseason game, okay, we're testing it out here, and I think the word is getting out that, look, this is not going to change, and you better get used to it. We've heard about all the tricks everybody's used in practice. Hold tennis balls in your hands, put boxing gloves on. Coaches are doing everything they can to get these defensive backs to stop grabbing the jerseys.
Of course, the word hasn't gotten out here tonight.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of it.
This is a good one so far.
Yep. 3rd down, and they're chasing after Schaub, who just throws it away. It was Clay Matthews going after Schaub, and he had to just unload it.
Well, as you look down the field, first the pressure gets there quick. Clay Matthews getting pressure that time, stays off the line of scrimmage, and that's what I talked about. The coverage down the field, there's nobody open, and the Raiders' offensive line not making the adjustment by a little game where Matthews was not on the line of scrimmage. He was off, and it fooled him.
And Marquette King. Busy first half, a 5th punt. Hyde grabs it at the 13. Looks like we may have seen the last of Aaron Rodgers. Yes, it's going to be Matt Flynn coming out. And that'll be it for Rodgers until week 1 at Seattle. And what about Rodgers' play here tonight?
Well, I think it's been pretty good. By his standards, not great. How about that little laser to start the night off with? He sees the blitz coming. He knows right away what he's going to do. Not only is the throw good, but the offensive line, their communication, there's no free runners to get to Aaron Rodgers. That's what you want to stop. As Mike McCarthy said, like baseball, he likes it to be good up the middle. The center, the guards, the quarterback, and the running backs, they're all on the same page, throwing, running, and protecting Aaron Rodgers.
And here's Matt Flynn, who had a brief stint with the Oakland Raiders. Started one game for him. Things did not go well out west in Seattle or Oakland, but he returned to his comfort zone last year in Green Bay and
did well.
Alas, was successful again.
Well, Seattle and Oakland had one thing in common in both of those stops for Matt Flynn. His arm got sore. He wasn't able to practice and get accomplished what he wanted to, and it cost him his job in both spots. But so far this year, training camp and everything, the arm's been fine, and I think he's performed very well on the field. I thought he threw the ball really well last week against St. Louis.
He gives it here to Harris. And he's got a gain of about 3 right under the arms of Tyvon Branch. Yes, Flynn left after the 2012 season here, went out to Seattle, got the free agent contract, but was beaten out by a rookie named Russell Wilson. Next thing you know, he's traded to Oakland. And that forced the Raiders at that time. They let go of Carson Palmer, but he lost the job to Pryor. And he ended up getting cut by the Raiders after just that one start.
Listen, when he was in Seattle, he could have held on to that job, but he couldn't get on the field to practice and show what he could do and accept one preseason game, which he actually played pretty well.
Art, number 26 to the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
Of course, he had that one game here. His first go-around with Green Bay, January 1st, 2012. It was a Week 17 matchup, and in place of Aaron Rodgers, 6 touchdowns and 480 yards. And that performance got him that 3-year, $26 million contract with Seattle in the offseason.
All right, well, good for him. And he's fighting with Scott Tolzien to be the backup quarterback here.
Here's Flynn on 3rd and 9, and he's inaccurate with that throw for the 2nd-round pick out of Fresno State, Devontae Adams.
Now, Mike McCarthy, when you talk about this Green Bay team, we've been up here many times, Jim, over the years. I've been up here in preseason. He pressures the quarterbacks, and you got to pressure them because I think they think, hey, this is a team they got now, the depth, the help that they can make a run at this. So the backup quarterback's got to be ready, and he's got to be good. So they got to put the pressure on him and see if they can get it done.
Brett Good snaps it back to Tim Mastay. And Moore was the deep man, and he takes it after the 2nd hop. And he is smothered by a whole contingent of Green Bay Packers. Coming up, the Bryson halftime report. Again, we'll have an update from New Jersey and the first leg of the PGA Tour playoffs for the FedEx Cup. Big round today by Adam Scott. And we'll have the story and Rory McIlroy getting back into that tournament as well with a 65. Plus, we're going to introduce you to Mike Carey. You knew him from all those years of great service on the field, 19 years as an NFL referee.
Yeah, look forward to talking to him. How about that golf trip? That's at my home course, Ridgewood, New Jersey.
I'm looking forward to this weekend because I'm going to double up this weekend. A little football, golf, double dip, triple dip, I guess, Saturday and Sunday. Going out there and using that membership number here. Here's more. We're about 6 or 7. Get some shirts and hats for the whole crew.
So what's that's not new for you. You're always getting free stuff by everybody. So
it's quite a place, though.
Oh, there's my locker.
Yeah,
yes.
Gonzalo Fernandez Castaño.
Oh, man, I don't even know what's in that locker anymore. I haven't been there in a while.
I
didn't even know I had a name on it. So I got a name tag on it, which is kind of new, so that's good.
That actually is Phil Simms, not Pat Sims' locker of the Raiders at Ridgewood Country Club in New Jersey. This is Sheets now in the backfield, and he's turned back by Barrington for no gain. Corey Sheets
Packer defense is fast, Jim.
Yeah, they come on strong after giving up that opening drive touchdown. Maurice Jones-Drew. 2-minute warning. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Julius Peppers, Clay Matthews. Evidently, they're finished for the night.
I think they like to be I think the Green Bay Packer fans and even the press are going to be pretty impressed with what they saw by their outside linebackers and the defense tonight. And you heard me say earlier, Jim, you just said there's a lot of teams here tonight scouting this Packers team because they're going to have to let some good players go cut down day. And this backup defense, for a backup defense in the NFL, it's loaded.
Come on! Back
You get late in the preseason, and you got a good team with a lot of depth. The teams from around the league come out to see the players you're going to cut. As that's a completion over to Streeter from Schaub. And you see a lot of talent here from Green Bay that's not going to be able to make this roster.
Oh, absolutely. Sean Richardson is a good safety. That's a tough matchup, though. They switch the receivers, and it's the perfect route, breaking to the outside. And that's what Matt Schaub, I think one of his strengths is that he just has rhythm and can throw on time. And that time he put the football right on the money.
7 completions for 40 yards for Schaub. Got a new set of downs. He's got James Jones for the 3rd time in this game.
Now see, that's what you want, the Raiders. 3 receivers to the right, one-on-one with James Jones, and he throws it. He attacks the football and gets the catch. They need a go-to guy bad. Because if they don't find one, Maurice Jones-Drew, Darren McFadden will not have success.
First down, and that one almost intercepted by Lattimore.
Yeah, Lattimore is one long, tall, fast linebacker. And he's going to see some playing time this year just because of how athletic he is.
Just got an update from the Packers that from the Raiders, that injury to C.O. Moore confirmed as a neck injury, but no more information. If we have any more to pass along, we will. But that's the word from the Raiders sideline.
Alert! Hard round! Hard round! Hard round!
Off to a local hospital for further evaluation. 2nd down and 10. A minute 26 to go in the half. Top going to the end zone for Moore. And it's caught but out of bounds by the defensive back House. And it just goes as an incompletion.
What a job by House. This is exactly his training reel. All the way down the field, immediately saw the receiver Moore, who goes way too wide. He turns and sees the quarterback, never gets close to committing a foul, and then goes up and gets the football. Good job by Denarius Moore putting those hands up there trying to get him out of bounds.
3rd and 10 from the Green Bay 26. Schaub in trouble. Chased, and another throw away. Carlos Gray was the closest pursuer of the quarterback. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
That's a good job by Matt Schaub breaking out, but just not enough speed there to outrun anybody and get outside. And Carlos Gray joining that second group in there, doing a good job. Got to check the play clock is right in front of the quarterback so he can see it. You can't make the mistake of delay a game.
Allen wanted it reset, but here you go on 4th down, and Schaub loses the football. Strip sack picked up by the Packers, and that's Mike Neal with the recovery. Nick Perry took it out of his hands.
Well, you don't want to throw gasoline on the fire, and that's just what Matt Schaub did. He got in trouble, and he took the hand off the football, even though he had it against his body. These defensive linemen, these arms, they're so strong. And that's what happened, loses that fumble. But the attacking defense, Mike Neal picking it up, and the pressure on the quarterback. What a job.
Nick Perry was able to blow past Donald Penn, the The left tackle.
Well, there you go. Nick Perry, a former first-round draft pick a couple years ago.
Yeah, out of USC. Here's a first down for Flynn from Oakland territory. And it's picked off by Mack. Khalil Mack, the rookie from the University of Buffalo, gets it right back for the Raiders.
What a job. Read the screen, had his arms extended against the blocker so he could react to the pass. That is an excellent job.
Kid's made some plays here tonight in the first half.
Yes, he has.
Only had one Division I offer coming out of high school, and that was by Turner Gill, at the time the head coach at the University of Buffalo.
Well, what he tell us, he's learning. My gosh, he goes, every offensive lineman you face now, they're really good. So once he learns the craft and learns some new techniques, and he's adjusting to the league fast, he's played a lot in preseason because they want to get him ready.
Shot right back onto the field, and almost got hit blindside as he picks up the short gain to Michael Rivera, and that was Mike Neal who had the fumble recovery, who was breathing down on Schaub just before he released it. Mack at Buffalo had dazzling numbers. You saw the NCAA all-time record earlier, 16 forced fumbles, plus he had 3 interceptions last year.
Well, this game helped sell him as a top 10 pick. Against Ohio State, he dominated. He took down a running quarterback in Braxton Miller like it was nothing and beat the right tackle up the whole game.
And Schaub. Corey Sheets. Got a Raider timeout coming with 40 seconds to go in the half.
Well, this could really put some salve on the wounds of this Raider offense, Jim, if they could just take this down here and score a touchdown. But at worst, at least get this first down and give yourself a chance to kick the field goal. How about this Packer defense? Pretty impressive, though, isn't it? It's the energy, it's the depth. It's not complicated. They just line a bunch of guys up, and they have a lot of defenders who can beat you one-on-one, and that's what they're doing. Led by defensive coordinator Tom Capers, former head coach of the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Texans. And we're talking about all this talent right now, and the second team is out there for that Green Bay defense. The second team last week against St. Louis, oh my gosh, it was a clinic. 3rd and 1. And Schaub to Sheets and knocked away on the hit by Roll. Hard to gain a yard. That was rough. The blitz, good throw over the top, and then the hard tackle. Well, it was caught and on the tackle. What a hit, but it was enough for the first down. So the clock is running here. 15 seconds to go. First down, and Schaub looking for Jones. And tries to make the acrobatic catch at the goal line. I think House is trying to tell everybody, well, don't come this way. I think the last couple throws would have been enough for me where I looked up top where the tight end down the middle might have had a chance driving the football in there. If you're a Raider fan and you're watching the first half and you're saying, wait a minute, we've had now 2 possessions deep in Green Bay territory against their backup defense. They got to be concerned right now. Well, it would concern you. And the receivers, do you see anybody really separating from the defensive backs? That's what we started the game with, and it's a big problem for this football team. There's Schaub. And should have been caught by Rivera, but a flag is out.
Holding, number 72 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That's on Donald Penn.
You know, Jim, here it is. Nothing is easy. Look, you say, oh, could have been caught, but he had to throw it outside to make sure it's not going to be undercut and intercepted. You want Rivera to make a nice catch. Very few easy plays for this Raider offense.
Of course, the Raider offense, since Rich Gannon left, have gone through 17 different starting quarterbacks.
And that penalty took him out of field goal position, too.
Hey, Frisco, Frisco!
Derek Carr, the much talked about rookie, suffered a concussion last week and bruised ribs. We don't expect to see him tonight, even though he's in uniform. Here we go to end the half. Hail Mary, heaved to the end zone and knocked down. Micah Hyde and Clinton Dix, their rookie first-round pick, both got their hands on it to end the half.
Knock it down. Nice job. Look at the position. Clinton Dix in great position. And Micah Hyde, awesome job. Good first half by the Green Bay defense.
Let's go down to Tracy.
Thanks a lot, and I'm here with head coach Dennis Allen. And coach, a rough first half for Matt Schaub. What do you need to see out of him and these wide receivers as you get ready for this regular season?
Well, we just got to play better on offense. We got to get our passing game going. That's obviously something that we've been working on, but we got to get better in the passing game.
All right, thanks a lot. Jim?
That's the end of the first half with the score. Green Bay 22 and Oakland 7. Back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. 22-7, and the Packers all over the Raiders here. And statistically, the passing yards almost 100 more. Total yards up over 200, double the first downs. Let's talk about some of the best performances of the first half. Where do you begin?
Well, Packers defense was outstanding. Not only the starters and some of the stars they want to see come through and make plays, but the backups were outstanding. We talked about it, about the Raiders many times. The wide receivers, it's a problem. I was thinking maybe we'd see a couple guys break out tonight. Still a ways to go. But most of all, Jim, I think both teams are going to continue to play because a lot of these guys we're going to see are going to get a lot of playing time once the season starts.
Well, talking about the Raiders, had that 40-yard touchdown run by Jones-Drew on a third down carry. And the rest of the half, that was their opening drive of the game. The rest of the half, that offense managed 46 yards.
Yeah, it was rough. You know, receivers couldn't get open. The offensive line was not dominating the defensive line to help the running backs. And you brought up a good point to me. Would it have changed if Maurice Jones-Drew was in there and Darren McFadden? It sure wouldn't have hurt anything, that's for sure.
Yeah, they only had Jones-Drew in for that opening series that resulted in the touchdown run by Maurice.
But I've been talking about how both of these teams are deep. Solid players backing up a lot of these positions, and I think we'll see them here in the second half, and quality of play should be good.
All right, Tracy, down to you.
Well, thanks. I had a chance to speak with Mike McCarthy coming out of half, and he said what he liked about that first half was the big play ratios from his team. He said Green Bay had plus 14, Oakland only plus 7. He said that was a big emphasis going into this season. 2 injury notes for Oakland, 2 defensive starters out with head injuries, linebacker Nick Roach and cornerback Terrell Brown. Guys?
That's the first thing Mike McCarthy looks at when he walks in at halftime. How many plays did we run and how many did they run? It's 14 extra. You're going to win games to get that many extra players.
Going to keep Schaub out here, try to get this offense some rhythm going as he has the 9-yard gain to James Jones, who in 7 years at Green Bay caught 37 touchdowns, including a 14-touchdown season back in 2012. Comes to the Raiders by way of free agency.
Well, they like what he's done, and I talked to their coaches out there, and they said, look, he has the best hands on the team. So that's important. And the only difference is they worry. Long year, he's been in the league a while. Can his legs just be fresh all the time? Going to have to be careful how you practice it.
2nd and 1, and it's Latavius Murray. He was a 6th-round pick a year ago out of Central Florida, but spent all of his rookie year on IR with an ankle injury.
Yeah, Jim, you go back real quick. Receivers, not open. Coverage down that side. Great protection. Nobody, if you look down the field that time, everybody is blanketed. You can't even see a space between the receiver and the defender.
Hey, 5-0, 5-0. 5-0. Ready?
And Schaub looking for more, who has it in stride and cuts back middle down to the 25. He's a big play threat for them on the outside. The former University of Tennessee receiver. That goes for 40.
He's on the outside against Dimitri Goodson, a basketball player turned football player at Baylor. Oh, nice adjustment by Moore. And he's the most polished. In other words, I think he can be an inside receiver. He's got good moves. He runs good routes. And, Jim, you've seen it. We've talked about it. Boy, you keep waiting for him to get really consistent and be a solid NFL receiver. It just hasn't happened yet.
First down from the Green Bay 25, and Murray moves the pile for 5. This receiving core we keep talking about, they got Greg Little on the field right now. They got 6 guys probably going to make the team. But you're looking for the one guy who's going to be the standout, who's the real go-to guy.
And why do you want that? Well, you hope he draws extra coverage to help somebody else out. And when the moments are big, as we always know, 3rd and 5, you design plays to go to your star. Or you at least give him the first opportunity to catch it. And that's where they got to try to separate that between now and early in the season.
Ready? Ready, shot!
2nd and 5. Cobb goes for a second option, and flags everywhere down near the goal line. And it was in the area of Moore.
Illegal contact, number 39 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Illegal contact, the call. And we're still seeing Mike carry a lot of illegal contact flags here tonight.
Yeah, everybody's starting to adjust.
Yeah, it's the backup. So you think this will change once the backups are not in there as much, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
they'll be adjusting during the regular season.
Well, that was an easy call. Dimitri Goodson, what a tough start for him. 2 rough plays.
First down from the 15, and a little mix-up as Murray ran into Schaub and still was able to push ahead for 1.
Jim, you just talked to Mike here. I got to tell you, the rules with him being around, it really frees me up. I feel really confident because I can look at you. If you give me the evil eye, I know I'm going the wrong direction. So,
But I'm giving you a thumbs up all the time. You're doing a great job.
Oh shoot! I won't sweat as much either, Jim, because you know when these big rules come up, you know how it is. You got you got like 1 second to make the right decision and spit it out, and I must admit we're usually right.
2nd and 9. And Schaub has a man open, and he knocks it down instead of catching it. Marcel Reese, so dependable for Oakland in his 5th year out of Washington, but not on that occasion.
Comes out the backfield, looks in the flat, and the defender is caught looking back in the backfield at the quarterback. And when you do that, he turns it up the sideline. Boy, Marcel Reese. He's supposed to be one of those utility players, lead blocker, tight end, catch passes.
Yeah, he does a little bit of everything. He's been the team captain the last couple of years, and he's been recognized as a Pro Bowler the last 2 seasons. 3rd and 9, and Schaub to the right side, and the ball is caught for a touchdown by the former Packer, James Jones.
Somebody's going to answer that question we've been talking about, right, Jim? And then James Jones is him and more, but James Jones been aggressive. I always talked about this. You have to win these type of catches in the NFL. You got to go compete for it and get it done.
First time he's ever caught a touchdown on this field and not made the Lambeau leap.
Oh, there you go. That would have been pretty neat.
Yeah.
They might have taken him in. Craig gave him a little love.
I tell you, they picked on Dimitri Goodson, the rookie from Baylor, on that whole series down the field.
Yeah,
they're going to go for 2 now.
They're waiting to okay if it is a touchdown. The ball did move. But I did not think he lost control of it.
We are reviewing the previous play.
As you wait for those touchdowns to be confirmed when you're the referee down on the field, is it a little bit painful? Just come on, guys, give me the answer. Mike?
Well, yeah, you're sitting there waiting for them to make a decision, but you're getting everything lined up. So if you have to go in for a review, you got all your ducks in a row.
Right. You know, the one thing, just by my eye, real quick, as I watched the replay, we saw it in slow motion.
Yeah.
And when you show it in slow motion, the ball always looks like it's moving everywhere. But it looked like, just quickly now, did it live, that he didn't lose total control.
And we'll see with this shot.
Yeah, you tell us what you think.
The key is he has to have control, comes down with 2 feet inbounds. There's one. The other one has control of the ball as he goes to the ground. Now he has to maintain control. The ball comes loose. They're going to let this one reverse, I believe.
Oh, you do? You think he loses control there?
I think he knocks it out just enough.
Wow, because I think that, you know, I like to give him a minute. Oh, there you go. That was
he
a good
lost
look.
control. That will be incomplete. He's already laying out of bounds.
Well, still a good job. What a job by Dimitri Goodson. Didn't give up and kept fighting there towards the end.
Just a little bit more control and you would have had the score.
You know, Mike, we really need this one to go your way. You're the first one on the record, okay? I know what you would have done. And here we go.
It's a judgment call.
It is close.
Yes, it is.
After review, the receiver catches the ball but goes to the ground bobbling the ball. So the pass is incomplete. The ruling on the field is reversed.
You know what we call that, Mike Carey? Undefeated. 1-0.
Time to retire.
It was a great career.
And boy, did I have fun.
Wow.
And we're not competitive, but we will keep scoring. No, but you know, that's the always thing. And Jim and I always have different opinions up here. But when it comes down to it, it's so close sometimes, it is a judgment call. Because the rule, these kind of rules, they can't be just black and white. There's going to be a little gray area there.
Well, we had to demonstrate complete control, and he just wasn't quite able to do it.
4th and 9, and Raiders go for it from the 14. Schaub, middle of the field, back in the end zone, and a little too steep for Rod Streeter. He was open. And they thought they had a touchdown, but no. It was overturned. And now Green Bay will take over on downs. Packers' first series of the second half. They relieved Aaron Rodgers in the second quarter after he threw a couple of touchdowns. And he is saluting Charles Woodson, who's being recognized here. The former Packer who, while he was in Green Bay, he was 1 year the NFL Defender of the Year.
How great is that?
Yeah, going to be just a first ballot Hall of Famer in his 17th year back in Oakland where he was originally drafted. Pretty cool to see Rodgers' reaction to that.
Well, Jim, let's go back to that last play. We'll do it in the Raiders when we get a chance. Just kind of tries to take something off of it. And when a lot of times when you try to ease up on the football, you're going to lose it high. And that's what happened to Matt Schaub that time.
Flynn with the handoff to Harris for a couple.
Now, you know, you look at Matt Schaub. I don't know what the numbers were, but if Marcel Reese catches that pass, it kind of turns his night around. And the Raider offense, regardless of who they're going against, they had success. They moved down the field. They had some good throws and catches. And that drop, it turns out to be now, they didn't score, and he misses an open receiver.
That's right. He had a touchdown wide open. And you saw it behind him, Matt McGloin starting to warm up. He's going to be coming in with Carr, again, who would have been the second man up. He's not going to see action.
Start. Number 26 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
Carr not expected to play tonight because of the sore rib suffered last week when he got hit in the game against Detroit.
Well, anytime you're a veteran quarterback, especially when you move teams, and your team drafts Derek Carr, a high draft pick first, second round, then the media, the fans, they can't wait to get him in there. So it's always important for Matt Schaub to be solid when he plays, to take advantage of opportunities. It's a tough position, but there's a lot of quarterbacks in the league right now in that position.
3rd and 9, and Flynn is all kind of pressure here. Somehow got free and tries to stretch it out, but not enough. Couple yards shy of the first. I want to say this about Derek Carr, though. You are a great believer in his talents.
Well, yes, I am. I liked him coming out in the draft. And, you know, I heard some of the things about him. A lot of people, I think, were negative because his brother, David, didn't have a good career. Now, that's not stupid. That's real stupid to put things that way. I mean, I have brothers that are exactly the opposite of me, whatever. So, unfortunately, I think that did happen to him. But I know this, the Raiders are happy with everything he's doing, leadership-wise, attitude, personality, and the talent. It's definitely starter NFL talent.
Here's Maste's punt to the 42, and Carey hit right away. By the way, Carr expected to see action in the next preseason game against Seattle, but not tonight. So Schaub thought he had the touchdown to Jones, but it was reversed.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Verizon, more live games than ever before with NFL Mobile. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Well, the Raiders have now gone to their second unit on offense. That means quarterback Matt McGloin is in there. He got starts last year as an undrafted rookie out of Penn State. And he's got a quick hookup here with Andre Holmes for just 3.
Well, Jim, let me introduce you to Gabe Jackson. 3rd-round pick this year by the Raiders, and he has been a good look at 66 left guard. Look at that protection. Now watching pull. Can't find anybody to hit. Let me just boom. And they're excited. They should be. I think he has a chance if he doesn't start. He's going to play a lot right from the start. You know, they got Khalid Barnes in there too. He's played well, but well, the Raiders, they hit big time on some draft picks. Mack, you got Derek Carr, and now you got Gabe Jackson. This is 3 guys that are going to really contribute to the football team, I think, this year and in the future.
Well, Gabe Jackson started all 52 games of his career at Mississippi State. 3rd rounder this year. 2nd and 7. Ball comes out on the hit. Sheets couldn't hold on to it, and it's Packers at the bottom of that pile. And it looks like Sheets may have been injured on the tackle. He was walloped.
Yeah, he waved in the trainers from the Raider sideline.
Corey Sheets. The helmet already off. Corey Sheets limping to the sideline. He was a star up in Canada the last 2 years in Saskatchewan, including the Grey Cup MVP, but he got hit here by Sean Richardson, and his left leg was bent awkwardly. The ball was recovered by Chris Banjo of the Packers.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They really were excited about seeing Corey Sheets play.
Crumbled on the contact, and
you know, Jim, you kind of said it. That kind of tells you why sometimes you take out star running backs and that because of these hits. You take them out early in the games because they've already got a feel for what's going on.
Yeah, that as to your point about Lacey and Jones-Drew seeing limited action tonight, although they were successful while they were out there. Flynn has a completion to Stoneburner for 9.
Well, I talked about it already. Matt Flynn with the arm troubles in the last 2 stops, but really, I just think watching him, they work so hard up here in Green Bay with their quarterbacks and their techniques. Got a little extra on the football this year from what I've seen in the past.
That's the run by Harris for a first down, and let's return to Tracy on the sideline.
Well, guys, you were talking about not wanting to risk it for those running backs, and you were specifically saying Maurice Jones-Drew, and I was talking to someone on the sidelines, and they said one of the reasons they may have pulled him early is he was dealing with a hand injury last week, and they were just being cautious, guys.
Smart. Flynn back to Stoneburner. Tries to stretch it out. He's got a gain of 4 as Jonathan Dowling was in on the one-on-one tackle. Well, this is the year you draft and you play from anywhere. NFL.com. Fantasy has all the new apps for your phone and tablet. Sign up for free at NFL.com/fantasy.
Now here you go, Jim. Got the backups in there. Backup quarterbacks are going with the hurry-up, no-huddle offense.
2nd and 6. And that's off the hands of Miles White.
Passing game all night long for the Green Bay Packers, just not sharp. You know, we saw quite a few missed times by Aaron Rodgers and some running backs and receivers, and a couple of drops. Look, they throw the football short a lot. You've got to make those catches and pick up extra yards.
Keep an eye on the left tackle for the Packers. They're really curious to see how Derek Sherrod plays tonight, the former first-round pick back in 2011 out of Mississippi State. He's not had a great preseason. Here's the draw play on 3rd and 6, and Harris is able to get 7 for the first.
Good point about Sherrod, and they need him to be good. He's at left tackle now. He's been playing right tackle, takes his guy up the field. Good run by Harris. You need a backup tackle who can play both sides to protect your football team. I think they got one. I think he's doing pretty well so far in preseason, Jim.
He's only been able to play 12 games in 3 years. Can't keep him on the field because of injuries. They run it to his side, and Harris is tackled from behind for a gain of about 4 as Stacy McGee was in on that play. And cut down date on the 26th is down to 75 players. And then everyone finishes up on the 29th. The whole league plays preseason action week 4 on the 29th, and then they'll have to cut down the final cuts on the 30th, down to the 53-man rosters.
319. 319 something.
2nd and 5. And then after those cut downs, you'll have Oakland traveling all the way to the New York Jets to open up the weekend, open up the week 1 play for the Raiders, while Green Bay gets that kickoff game at Seattle on September the 4th, taking on the champs on a night of celebration for the Seahawks.
Talk about a tough opener. I guarantee you, they didn't talk about it, but they've been probably 1 day a week preparing for the Seattle Seahawks. That's what you do in the NFL.
False start. Number 68, the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Jim, like once that first exhibition game is over, you start looking forward to when that opening game is going to happen, and you keep sneaking in little practices for your first opponent, because you and I talk about it all the time. There is nothing like winning that first game.
Well, for Green Bay, they'll be traveling out to Seattle for the first time since that debacle with the replacement refs, where Golden Tate was awarded the touchdown at the end of the game a couple of years ago. Beat the Packers in that controversial 14-12 final. 3rd and 10. After the 5-yard step off against Green Bay. Flynn, good pass this time. And that's a nifty move by Miles White. Traveling all the way to the 13. Picks up 19.
Yeah, good job. Listen, first off, good blitz pickup by Harris. And then Matt Flynn stood in there with a free rusher coming right at him, and he puts it right on the money. Really just crisp throwing the ball. I think the Packers, they have to feel good about their quarterback rotation, too. I think they'll keep all 3 of their guys for sure.
The other one being, of course, Colzine, who we should see some action from here in this half. A flag down after Harris was down at the 9.
There's one good backup offensive line in there, too.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 68 of the offense. 15-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
It's on Andrew Tiller, practice squad player as of late in the year back in 2013 for Green Bay. And here's a look at their early season schedule. We mentioned the Seahawks at Seattle. They'll be there September 4th. And then the Jets in our doubleheader window on CBS, followed by games to Detroit, Chicago, and then Minnesota on a Thursday night on CBS. 1st and 25, and that is Michael Hill colliding with 2 or 3 Raiders. And some hard work there for not a very long gain.
Well, just a lot of things to talk about. This second offense for the Green Bay Packers, and just you talked about Sherrod, but Lindsley, the backup center, Taylor Lane, Aaron Adams has a guy. He could be a 4th tackle. He's playing right tackle now, and he'll switch probably in the 4th quarter and play left tackle. But really, what a job by him so far.
2nd and 20. There's Flynn gunning it too high, trying to hit Devontae Adams. Let's talk about Adams here for a moment. This is one of the guys they need to develop. They've got 3 sure things in Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb and Jarrett Boykin, but they drafted Adams in the 2nd round out of Fresno State. He was Derek Carr's main target there.
He sure was, and I think it's been okay, but I thought last week he started to cross that border a little bit. They hoped so. You know, coming in as a rookie wide receiver in the NFL, a lot to learn.
From Fresno State, here's 3rd and 20, and that pass unable to hold on to it. The man we just talked about, Devontae Adams, he was walloped there by Brandon Ross.
Well, that's what you have to learn too. Even when you shake them loose and you're wide open, they're still right there. And what a hit. Got to grab it. He didn't even catch it clean to begin with.
That's the thing. Had he been clean right there, he might have been able to hold on to it.
Yeah, you got to rip that football out of the air in this league because they're flying towards you and they make big hits.
Got a 41-yard field goal attempt by Mason Crosby, who has not been called on for any PATs tonight. He went all twos, but he's got the 3 from 41. 4:10 to go in the third quarter. Flynn takes him down the field for a field goal drive. After a Packers field goal, 25-7. Raiders have not produced any points since their first series of the night. The Maurice Jones-Drew 40-yard touchdown run. You're looking at Latavius Murray, who waits for the kick from Crosby. Short enough to be returned. It's Murray, short side, and he is bumped out of bounds. Well, McCarthy saw the backup quarterback thing down the field, and finally the snapper and the holder got a chance to get in the game and celebrate. College football fans, Urban Meyer and the Buckeyes are going to take on the midshipmen of Navy on CBS Sports Network next Saturday at noon Eastern on our 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Vernon Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Allie LaForce will be there on the call. Of course, Braxton Miller out for the season with a shoulder injury for Ohio State. And that should be a good one. They'll be playing at the Ravens Stadium. Ohio State and Navy next weekend on CBS Sports Network. Here's McGloin in the pocket and finding his man Leonhardt for the first down grab and 13 yards. Down to you, Tracy.
Thanks, Jim. I'm here with the Packers' Jordy Nelson. And Jordy, another strong outing out here today. How ready is this team to start the season at Seattle?
I think we'll get there. We have another week of practice. Today we were able to get some touchdown drives in there. Struggled there for a little bit in a few possessions, but it was a good battle, and we got some points on the board. Did well in the red zone, so that's what we wanted.
You spent all your years with Aaron Rodgers. Give us a little insight as to what he's like, especially coming into this season off the injury.
Very competitive. I think that's first and foremost. If it's in practice, in a game, obviously, playing card games or anything, he's very competitive and strives for perfection and holds everyone to that level. So it's great to play with a guy that way, holds everyone accountable, and that's what you want.
You welcome back James Jones and Charles Woodson tonight. What was it like seeing them?
It was great. Wood actually came through the locker room beforehand and was seeing the new facility because he had left before all that was done, and talked to him, and JJ, as we were walking in for halftime. So it's great to see those guys. They're doing well, and we wish them the best.
Thanks a lot. Good luck. Jim?
Thank you. Jordy and his family spent the whole offseason up here in Green Bay, and he got a new contract 10 minutes before the first practice of this new season. Second down and 8, and that is batted away as McGloin was trying to get that one off, and Jaron Elliott came crashing through.
Well, I like what Jordy Nelson said to us a couple of days ago. We said, hey, what about Aaron Rodgers' attitude? And he goes, well, he gets that sly smile on his face. He goes, I don't think he could get any more intense. And Aaron Rodgers really is like the perfect quarterback, the talent, but he has that attitude where he demands people around him to do their job and to excel. And I think that's what he was getting at. It's very evident when you watch this team play and talk to all the players.
Third and 8. Bryce Butler, number 12, is in at receiver for the Raiders. And again, pressure in the backfield. McGloin somehow got it to Little, who's a couple of yards shy. Greg Little's first catch.
Well, the starters didn't pick up blitzes, so there's no way the backups are going to pick up blitzes. And they had free runners, and McGloin makes a play getting outside and getting it to Greg Little. Now, this Matt McGloin, I really believe the Raiders, if they had to go in the season during the offseason and said he'll be the starter, I think they were going to be okay with that. And he has come back after an offseason, quicker, throwing the ball better, and as tough as any quarterback I think you're going to find in the league. He's just one of those guys.
He started 6 games last year, including down on Thanksgiving Day in Dallas. We saw him play. Yep, sure did. 4th down, 4th and 2. And McGloin with a flag down has Murray for the first down.
What a play. That was awesome. Doesn't panic.
Is it possibly offensive pass interference?
I don't think so. I'm going to look like contact deep down the field.
2 fouls on the play. Illegal contact, number 58 in the defense. Prior to the pass, holding, number 20 in the defense. Both those penalties be declined. Result of the play is a first down.
You know, you talked about McGloin and how he could be a capable starter if they had to go to him week 1. That's not the plan, of course, but he's been told his whole career that he's not good enough. He even went to Penn State as a walk-on. He was the first walk-on quarterback to start at Penn State in 60 years. Then he comes in the league undrafted and starts 6 games as a rookie.
Really got taught well at Penn State to be a pro quarterback by Bill O'Brien, now the head coach at Houston.
Here's McGloin. Unable to get out of that. As again a play is made for the second time on this series by Elliott. And a loss of 15.
Yeah, I haven't seen J-Ron Elliott play a lot, but boy, he has stuck out here in this second half a couple times. He just flashes, and like you see in Green Bay, they like a certain body type, 6'3", 6'4", 250, 260, and they got them everywhere on the field. Defensive end, linebackers, tight ends. So what that does, it gives you a lot of guys that can be good on special teams.
Sets up 2nd and 25. They go screen, and Murray cannot find the handle. Although had he been able to make the catch, Goodson was in the area to make a quick hit. I think Murray felt his presence.
Yeah, it just happened too quick. A lot of times on screens, offensive linemen just let the guys go too quick.
One of the battles we were hearing for Oakland they wanted to really look at tonight was Murray, who just dropped it, and Corey Sheets, who was just taken to the locker room with that injury, playing for the 3rd running back position. 3rd and 25. McGloin. That pass. Nowhere close. Little miscommunication. That time with Jake Murphy. Almost intercepted by Goodson. They're going to punt it.
Well, McGloin's still yelling at him as they go to the sideline. Just took too long. Well, I'm laughing because this is how they described him, that, man, he is competitive and fiery, and you see it on the field. And, Jim, you said it, a guy that's fought the hard way, and he's done well for himself, no doubt.
I believe that pass was intended for Scott Simonson. And the ball will bound into the end zone. There was an opportunity there to down it at about the 1, but it scooted just out of reach. And Casey had a chance to down it. There you see Breeze and Luck. And tomorrow we're back with the NFL on CBS from Indianapolis, New Orleans, and the Colts. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts will be on the call. Pretty marquee matchup right there.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Drew Brees getting his first action. And I'll say this about the Colts. That defense was, how do you say it at the end of the year? Awful. It just was awful. But I know it's preseason, but it's a different style, very aggressive, and what a good test for him going against Drew Brees in that offense.
They got Tolzien at quarterback now. So the 3rd quarterback in for the night. Tolzien, who saw action last season once Rodgers went out with the broken collarbone. He started that game at the New York Giants, threw for 339 yards in his first start, but was picked 3 times. And he spent some time before that with the San Francisco 49ers and was on the roster when they went down and played in the Super Bowl against the Ravens.
Hey, we're scooping a 5-6.
Well, that last play was a run. Throw that quickie if you want. And if they'd have had those type of plays when I was playing, Jim, I would have thrown that quick pass every time. My completion percentage would be, well, a little better than it was, that's for sure.
Well, what's wrong with 88% in the Super Bowl?
I mean, I needed that more.
And you didn't have any, and you had no gimmies.
Yeah.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. 25-7, Green Bay. Back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. We're back for the 4th quarter at Lambeau Field with Green Bay in front in this one, 25-7. Jim Nance, Bill Sims, Tracy Wolfson, and Mike Carey in his debut. 3rd and 10 to start the quarter. Tolzien. With a slant pattern and a first down picked up right there. The Stoneburner.
Good job by Tolzien. Defense drops back, thinking he's going to look down the field, gets Stoneburner underneath and splits the defense and picks up the first down.
5-0. 3-18. 3-18.
Another catch by a tight end. This time it's Ryan Taylor.
Well, you got to be impressed. First team, second team, whatever, the pass protection. Derek Sherrod, they really want him to come through to be a swing tackle. And what a job he did. I thought last week after a slow start played very well. And look at him tonight. Just stoning whoever's going against him.
Got an injured Packer on that play. See Sherrod. It's Tiller. You get to this point in a game, you know, you're trying to tell the fan, which is so true, there are jobs on the line right here in this 15 minutes of football. What are you looking for out here? Some of the key ones.
You know what I like about preseason now more than I have in the past? When the backups come in, the coaches are not running these dumb offenses where they give the guys no chance to have success. And the defense the same way. They're letting them play. Then you can truly evaluate what they can do.
What do you think, Mike? Your first time being in a booth instead of being down on the field?
You know, we have a bird's eye view up here, but that excitement down on the field is hard to miss.
Are you missing it?
A little bit.
I got to ask you
when
a
I'm with
question.
you guys, what could I ask for? I couldn't ask for any more.
Let me ask you this, Mike, though. You and I were talking a lot over the last couple of days, and I said to you, I'm a little upset sometimes about all these rules to protect the quarterback. Not that I want him to get hurt, I don't. But it's just a little, and again, you straighten me out, which Jim loves when you straighten me out. But what did you say to me?
Well, because I'm back there with them all game long. They get tattooed back there. Like ping pong balls knocked around, they get thumped on the ground, and they got to take every snap.
Well, see, that's interesting. TV doesn't make it look that way, but you get to feel it and see it, and you know they're taking big hits.
When the camera goes away, they're still getting pounded, and then they got to get back up and be able to make sure that they're going to get the next play off.
Alex Gillette with the catch.
Oh, scoop, 5-6.
2nd and 2.
Set head. That's the worst. 3-18. 3-10.
Hill has the first down. He told us at halftime about how this year New York and the command central there is going to be involved in the review process. How relieved are the referees out there that there's a second set of eyes back in New York to help the process?
What I think they're really interested in is that it's going to bring consistency through all 17 crews through the whole season, and that's what everybody's looking for.
Does it take a little heat off, though, having to make that decision? Or is it nice to have kind of somebody saying, this is the way I see it?
Well, you like to be in the driver's seat where you got control.
1st and 10, Tolzien. Again, finds Taylor, his second catch on this drive.
You know, Mike, I'll ask a quick question here. I notice it more and more, and I don't remember it being 15 years ago, but defensive linemen, now that you've taken the umpire and put him behind the offense a lot, what's happened to these defensive linemen? They've gotten pretty crafty.
Yeah, the defensive coordinators are aware that with nobody having eyes on the defensive linemen, they can run schemes, grab, twist, pull, and sometimes it doesn't get to be
a lot more holding by defensive linemen.
It's attention.
2nd and 3 and about a yard shy. A lot of people, of course, never know the backstory on a lot of these officials, but in Mike Carey's case, he was a fine running back in college at Santa Clara. We got a flag down. Played at Santa Clara, was in the backfield with Dan Pastorini, who in fact was his roommate there.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'll bet.
Many years ago.
Man,
I like the way you
After
embellished
the
my
play,
career, too.
unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 95 in the defense. After distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Well, here's what I really want to know. 95, that's Burnett. outside linebacker. Well, he just takes that extra one hit, and they're going to stop all this extra shoving. You keep throwing these flags, and you really get yelled at when you have these personal fouls, things like this, when you see it like that. I got a question for Mike when this play's over.
On the 15. This is Hill.
Mike,
wrapped up quickly for no gain.
That's great that you played with Dan Pastorini, but I think everybody wants to know, did you hang out with him a little? Because, you know, his reputation was he didn't sit in his room and study all night, did he?
He was really good at studying.
Oh, he was?
We had study hall every night. The topics were very interesting, I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay, there we go. I'm going to say, boy, that's a good diplomatic answer. But, hey, Dan Pastorini, he could really throw the football.
Everybody had broken fingers on our team.
I guarantee it. He could let it go with the best of them.
Here's a 2nd and 11, and the screen pass incomplete. Also just a great guy. Still residing down in Houston and a good friend. Back to the rule changes for this year. We talked about the line of communication with New York on the reviews. Possession of fumble recoveries now reviewable. Of course, this came out of the NFC title game and the play by Navarro Bowman. And, you know, that was a mess, and Bowman even got hurt on the play.
Right.
And now that can be changed. Explain that a little bit more for us, Mike.
Since now loose balls, any kind of loose ball recovery can be reviewed. Now, generally, it's a two-part process to make sure that there was a fumble and then to make sure that you had a clear recovery. What a great catch from the inside.
That's Gillette who pulls it down. Alex Gillette, we got a flag down.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 58 in the defense. Below the head and neck area. Touchdown. That 15-yard penalty forced on the kickoff.
Here's a kid just battling somehow to make the roster out of Eastern Michigan, and he even gets to make the Lambeau Leap tonight in prime time.
How
There's
about
Dave
that?
Rupp, the passer. But how about this? To get a hand on it, keep it alive, and to bring it down. He was on the practice squad with the Packers the last 8 games of last season, and he was a quarterback in Ypsilanti, Michigan,
Yes,
at
the
Eastern
receiver
Michigan.
had great control, got 2 feet down, got a knee down, and maintained control all the way through the process of going to the ground.
That's how you make a football team. He's made some plays when he gets in these games. You can see he fits the prototype that the Packers love. 6'1", you know, over 200 pounds as a wide receiver. That way they can beat you with their physical presence, make those tough catches like we just saw.
And Tolzien has a touchdown toss as they'll go for 2. And he's trying to go back to Gillette. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Alex Gillette makes quite a play. What a moment for him. We are back, and Alex Gillette telling his teammates about how he did it. How he caught the touchdown in the corner of the end zone.
No. He's talking about the leap.
Okay, that's what it
Come
is.
on. The touchdown and then the excitement to get up in the stands.
And because the roughing the passer call is applied here to the kickoff from the 50, Crosby, with George Atkinson, the third back deep. Never, of course, a chance there. They'll just drill it and send them out to the 20. Pat McGloin ready to take the field again. He'd like to get a touchdown drive under his belt here tonight before it's over.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Nationwide Insurance. And by Quicken Loans, for a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze.
We're back here with the Raiders taking over at their own 20. And the Raiders hand it off to Stewart. The Raiders coming into a season off another 4-12 year in a division that sent 3 teams, the other 3 teams, to the playoffs last year.
Emmanuel Sanders, another receiver. DeMarcus Ware, Akeem Talib, TJ Ward. I like what they've done.
How about Kansas City? Can it back up that big turnaround here?
Can their defense do it?
And how about Allen and McKenzie? Ready for results in Raiderland. And how about the Chargers? Can they challenge Denver for the division? And again, they go to Stewart. Helmets come flying off here. It's Goodson, Dimitri Goodson. So what about the West? 3 teams to the playoffs last year. How do you see it this year?
Well, I mean, Jim, can you anybody pick somebody besides the Denver Broncos? We saw that offense. That's not going to change. It might be better this year. They got some players back on the offensive line, and the defensive pickups. They changed that team dramatically. DeMarcus Ware, a safety, which has hurt them for so many years. They're going to be tough the whole year.
T.J. Ward, Aqib Talib. How about Kansas City coming back off that year, that playoff year, and that hot start they had a season ago? From Andy Reid, ball was almost intercepted, and the big man had a chance for the pick. Talking about Carlos Gray.
Well, Kansas City, the real big thing in there is the defense fell apart late in the year. Did they do anything to really change it? I got to see it to believe it.
How about San Diego after Mike McCoy's big debut?
Second year around, I think they got some corner defensive back help. That's what they really need. The offensive line's going to be, I think, better than it was last year. I think San Diego's the biggest threat in the West to the Denver Broncos.
And of course, we're going to have Denver and San Diego Thursday Night Football on CBS in October. Here's King. Demands a fair catch by Jeff Janis. We've got 9 minutes to go in this one. Been all Green Bay since the early stages. As part of USA Football Month. USA Football and the NFL salute the more than 5,500 youth leagues and high schools nationwide, representing nearly 1 million players registered for Heads Up Football this season. Heads Up Football, a new program developed by USA Football and supported by the NFL, dedicated to making the game better and safer. Parents should make their kids and coaches make sure their kids' coaches are USA Football certified. For more, visit usafootball.com. On first down, the Packers give it to Harris yet again. How about the questions out of the NFC North? New faces on that defense for the Bears, including Jared Allen. And Jim Caldwell takes over as head coach in Detroit. And the Packers, oh, you know the answer to that. And then how about Bridgewater? Is he ready?
Well, Bridgewater, is he ready? No, he's not going to start the season. Matt Castle, a capable quarterback, a good preseason so far.
Down the field. Oh, what a catch. That previous play was a run by Perkins, and that time it was Harper with the reception. Chris Harper for 27.
Yeah, really good throw by Scott Tolzien that time. Gets the protection for the Packer quarterbacks has been outstanding tonight.
Harper came into the league drafted in the 4th round a year ago by Seattle, and they waived him. Ended up going down to San Francisco for a short spell and then picked up by the Packers.
You know, I'll answer the question about the NFC North real quick here. I'm going to get a chance.
Here's Perkins. Yeah, all those questions. How about the defense at the Bears first?
Well, I want to go Minnesota first. They could be the sleeper. The defense, Mike Zimmer, look out. They're going to hit the quarterback. They got some pass rushers. The Norv Turner's on the offensive side. I think they're one of the sleeper teams in the league.
How about the Bears and their new look on defense?
That offense is going to rock and roll. There's no doubt about it. But the defense, Jared Allen, some new faces, defensive tackles. I think they only got to be pretty good on defense because their offense, I think, is going to be outstanding.
2nd and 7. We'll get to Detroit next. And a tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
In Detroit, I'll just say this. Jim Caldwell, we know him well, goes down there and takes over. That team and the personality, I got to see it to believe it. Can you get that team, can you get the personality changed to make it go on the field and be somebody you fear every week? They have superstars, but it doesn't show when you watch them play. So Jim Caldwell's got a lot of work to do, and I'm interested to see if they turn it around.
That last tackle by Ricky Lumpkin.
Detroit's got the hard part down. They got like 4 or 5 potential superstars.
Across the middle, there's a nice looking throw. And that picks up the first down. That completion goes to Perillo.
Yeah, good throw and catch. And my last, the Green Bay Packers, I think this team, they didn't tell us this. I'm just saying this. Watching them, looking on paper, seeing it here tonight, this is a team that's ready to really compete big time in a very tough, NFC. They're absolutely a Super Bowl contender. And that game in Seattle, don't discount it. It's a big game for what might happen at the end of the year.
It's Perkins. And the flag is out. Yeah, I know you love the Packers. You've been talking about it since we started prepping for this game a couple days ago.
Holding. Number 77 of the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And what you're saying about that game in Seattle to open up the season, that could, who knows, in the end, have all kinds of home field consequences on the line all those months later.
I mean, that's crazy to say opening day, but, I think I've already heard it. I said it to a few people, and they go, well, you're right, NFL people, because look at this Packer team. No real glaring weakness in what we have seen here tonight. Backup defenders all over the field and two solid offensive lines that played for them. So not many question marks, that's for sure.
1st and 20. And Perkins is ridden down after a gain of 3.
And real quick, just we talked about it a lot tonight, the Raiders, I think you can see with your eye, they are a better football team. They are making progress. The roster's better, the depth. They got a lot of things fixed, but will it show in the one-loss record? That'll be the question.
Of course, that depth may have taken some hits here tonight. We saw Corey Sheets suffered injury that took him to the locker room, and the biggest one, of course, we're waiting word on is C.O. Moore, who was carted off the field. 2nd and 17. And that's to Harper for a gain of 6. Here's the Raiders opening up at the New York Jets and then host Houston at New England. That Miami game is in London, by the way.
Wow.
In fact, the Raiders this year are going to be the most traveled team by air miles because they got the game in London.
Sure.
But you add it all up, 36,000 miles they'll be traveling by air. That's a free coach ticket for every player on the roster.
Well, you're always thinking on the economic side. That's good. But you see that start of their season, they go, hey, yeah, New England, we can win these games.
3rd and 11, and well defended. He's had a good night.
Thorpe.
Yeah, Thorpe. Here's the miles. They're 10,000 more miles traveling this year than the Seahawks. Here's the Cowboys with 24,000 miles and a date in London as well, as do the Dolphins. The Dolphins will be the Raiders' opponent. In fact, at Wembley Stadium for the first time in a long time. We're not going to be at Wembley this year.
Yeah.
I know you're going to miss that.
Oh, I love that London trip.
4th and 11 and out for a 53-yard field goal is Mason Crosby. And Crosby's kick is just left. I'm going to give you a free ticket to London anyway, my friend, just so you can go enjoy it all over again.
I'll take it. It's the first thing you've ever given away.
Tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern time, we'll be on for the FedEx Cup, in the PGA playoffs for the FedEx Cup. The Barclays from Ridgewood in New Jersey, where Adam Scott shares the lead at 36 holes with Cameron Tringali, Jim Furyk, Brendan Todd, Kevin Chappell won back, and Rory McIlroy bounced back today with 65. You saw Stenson Els and Jason Day all in the thick of it too. Well, Mickelson made the cut right on the number. Here's 1st and 10 as McGloin has it over to Butler for a first down. Let's go over to Tracy.
Thanks a lot, Jim. I'm here with Packers running back Eddie Lacy. First, I have to ask, what's up with the hat?
I had a regular hat, but I kept turning it backwards, so when they gave me this one, so I can't turn my hat backwards.
All right, well, this is usually the game that we see the starters playing deep into the game, at least through the half. You score a touchdown, and that's about it. Are you surprised you only played that little?
I thought I was going to play like 2 or 3 series, but, Coach said, he liked what he saw in the first series, so just get ready for week 1.
How about for you, the difference between year 1 and year 2?
The difference is a lot slower for me. I'm not pressuring myself. I'm not rushing. and I'm not overthinking. I'm just going out there and playing natural.
And I know today was a special day for you. You bought your parents a house and you tweeted it out. They closed on it. How important was it to see your parents finally be able to get into that house that you got them?
It was very important. You know, they've been in the trailer for a long time now, and you know, whenever she went to the house, she sent me pictures of it, and you know, you can see how happy they were. And I mean, I just feel like I'm a blessed kid just to be able to, you know, be able to move them from a trailer into a house.
Well, congratulations. We wish you good luck this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
Way to go, Eddie Lacy.
Wow, that is.
I love that story. Absolutely.
I think it's a lot. Well, almost all kids' dreams to do something like that for their parents. And Eddie Lacy, well, Tracy knows him well. She interviewed him probably many, many times in all those Alabama games that she covered.
All those years, the SEC on CBS. And again, McLaurin has his target, and it's Butler racing in for the touchdown. Bryce Butler, who caught the game winner with seconds to go last week from McGloin to beat Detroit with 6 seconds left.
Yeah, really sharp. McGloin looks just like he has every time I watch him play. Good footwork, pops around, gets rid of the football quicker, and I said that kind of let him go there. He made a few good throws where he got nothing out of them, but he just came back, looks quicker, throwing the ball with more power, and of course, second year under Greg Olson, the offensive coordinator, he has this offense down cold. And it shows when he goes in.
Bryce Butler looking pretty good too.
Yeah, he can catch your eye just the way he looks.
2-point try went to Kreiner, and it's incomplete.
How about the beginning of the game? Aaron Rodgers threw that exact same play to Jordy Nelson. He fought through the defender, made the catch. Kreiner, that time quite able to get in front of the defender to catch it.
So Roll breaks it apart.
Boy, Roll has had a really good night here. Broke up passes, been everywhere. He really solidified his spot and his place on this football team, no doubt.
There he exchanges a few words with their fourth-team quarterback here in camp, Trent Edwards. Came into the league through the Buffalo Bills by way of Stanford, and yeah, it's a happy day for Eddie Lacy.
It sure is. It is. In many ways, preseason, he's a better player than he was last year. Buying the house, and I got to go to the hat. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah, you know, they issue to these all the players in the NFL. Every team has them, so when they walk around during training camp, they have something to wear. I don't know if I could quite carry it off, but
actually, no, you couldn't. All right, the return out across the 20. That's Dorsey, Kevin Dorsey. Let's take you to the AFC North, since we're going to open up Thursday Night Football on CBS with the Steelers and Ravens. Of course, the division winner last year, Cincinnati. They're looking to even be better this year. Marvin Lewis. How about the Steelers? Are they going to get back on top? They were looking a little bit out of sync last night on offense. How about the Ravens? How will they respond after sitting out the postseason? And lastly, all those questions about Cleveland. Hoyer's going to start the season at Pittsburgh. What do you think about that?
Well, I think they made the right decision. If you want to run your offense, they had to start Brian Hoyer. But they just got enough weapons on the offensive side for the Cleveland Browns to really be a serious team that you can sneak out there and win 9 or 10 games. There's no way.
And how about the Ravens? You know, we see them so often, and last year coming off a Super Bowl victory, and they did not back that up with a postseason.
I say this about Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I look at the premier quarterbacks around the NFL, Jim, and one thing they always have top-flight NFL lines. The team does whatever it takes. And last year, Pittsburgh and Baltimore, their offensive lines got away from them, and their quarterbacks didn't play as well as they wanted.
2-minute warning here in the fourth quarter. You're watching the NFL on CBS. All right, just to wrap it up, with 2 minutes to go, we did not have a chance there on the front side of it to talk about the Bengals, who are the reigning division champions out of the AFC North.
Oh, I still think they're the favorites just because they got so many returning players on the offensive side. They got Jeremy Hill, a really exciting running back from LSU, to add to that offense. The Bengals, the one big worry about them, depth. Do they have backups in case they lose a few players? I don't know. But Andy Dalton, we finished the year last year with him. Looks pretty good so far in preseason. Got a new contract, and well, they're never going to get off of him, Jim, until he wins that first playoff game, and that's how it goes for quarterbacks in the NFL now.
By the way, we just want to say about C.O. Moore, who was carted off the field in the first half with a neck injury, is what the Raiders have reported to us. He's been taken again to the local hospital for observation. I wish we had more information to pass along. We just don't at this time, but certainly our thoughts are with him, and hopefully some good news will be revealed here in the next couple of hours.
Well, the good thing is, I hope, what I hope for their C.O. Moore's family and friends is that the Raiders are in contact with them so they have all the latest information on how things are going. And you're right, our thoughts and prayers are with it.
Well, the Raiders have called a timeout. I'm not sure why, but 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. And they're going to get McGloin back out there for a few more snaps.
Well, there's always reasons why they do it. It would probably be, I don't think it's as much for the quarterback. It might be, let's see these receivers just keep giving them opportunities. It would not surprise me to see the Raiders next week in their final preseason game play their starting offense and just keep looking to build on what they've tried to accomplish so far this preseason.
We talked to Dennis Allen about just an early look at what he thought he would do for the final preseason game. He did not expect to play shop in that game. That's what he was saying a couple days ago to us. He thought it'd be a heavy Derek Carr appearance, plus Matt McGloin. Greg Jenkins on the return. He's fighting for a roster spot. Special teamer a year ago who returned a fumbled kickoff on Thanksgiving Day at Dallas for a touchdown to open that game.
Jim, you talk about these quarterbacks tonight. Green Bay, I thought all their quarterbacks were really sharp with some of what they did. Maybe not the receiver and the connections, but the Raiders, I thought Matt McGloin was everything we've seen in the first preseason games, continues to get better. And if it was me, if I was Matt Schaub, I would want to play some next week to get some rhythm, to get more confidence, and to get his teammates confident in what he can do on the field. So it's been a rough preseason. The numbers lie a little when you look at what he's done.
That ball deflected at the line.
I was going to say, Jim, even when you're a veteran quarterback, you still like to have positive results in the preseason.
Adrian Hubbard getting a hand on it. We saw McGloin last year in one of his starts, and he looked good in that game, but and I know he's going against not the starting unit here, the defensive unit of Green Bay, but he even looks better here tonight.
I think you can see it physically.
Throws like that should have been caught, just a little behind Kreiner.
Well,
but that was one that should have gone for about 20.
Yeah, Kreiner, that was, I'm not going to just get up, but look, that's a routine NFL catch. The Raiders, they've done it too. They have just not made enough contested catches, hard catches. The defender's close to them. They always let the defender get their hand 45. In there. And
47, loose.
They got to be more aggressive. It's football.
Right.
The aggressor always wins.
Right.
3rd and 10. McGloin, and he has the hook up with Kreiner, who makes the tough catch on this occasion.
Wow, that was a really terrific throw. A guy coming free, and McGloin stayed on his back foot and just put the perfect touch on it.
Dennis Allen told us this game is a barometer for us. We've got to show that we can go on the road and we can be, when we have a tough road assignment, that we can play well. Here's a pass to the sidelines to Holmes, who tiptoes for a big gain. So big barometer, he told us. What do you think he takes out of it?
I think there's a lot of positives, no doubt. I really do. This is not the typical unorganized or disorganized Raider football team. Jim, I don't care if it's the backups. These are really a lot of quality throws by Matt McGloin. I just can't get over how his arm has got so much more pop than last year.
Definitely can see it. And that was broken up. That was Ryan White, who denied the pass to George Atkinson III. George Atkinson, the son of course, the great defensive back for the Raiders back in their heyday, the Soul Patrol. He was back there with Jack Tatum and Willie Brown and Skip Thomas, that remarkable secondary in those incredible years for the Raiders. His dad's still a part of the organization. He does a lot of broadcast work for him. His son trying to make the team here. Here's McGloin to the end zone, and that's a nice catch. And it's again Bryce Butler. Bryce Butler out battling. You talked about you got to be the aggressor. There's a case for it right there.
We've seen a couple nice contested catches, and now we know why. Well, I knew even before why Dennis Allen called that timeout. Let these guys get more routes down the field. You know, the one thing about the Raiders, not a dink and dunk offense, is it? They hammer that football down the field when they throw it. A lot of pressure on their offensive line to provide time, and then pressure on these quarterbacks to make downfield throws.
Touchdown's been confirmed, so here they go for two. And it's a running play, and Atkinson finds the end zone.
You think they'll onside kick?
George Atkinson, I'm excited for the Atkinson family, the third.
That's
able to go in for the two. Of course, he grew up around this team as a young man, went off and played football at Notre Dame, their all-time leader at Notre Dame in kick return yardage. And here's his dad, number 43, back from 68 through 1977. He came out of the draft class right after the Raiders had lost Super Bowl II to Green Bay. Came out of that draft class and had a stellar career, did his father.
Pretty exciting, isn't it? And you can tell, I mean, he's breathing deep and nice cutback, sees the running lane.
I'd like to see him get a chance in the return game because he really started in that for the Fighting Irish. As I mentioned, their school all-time leader in kick return yardage. And guessing, goes ahead, boots it away, and forward seat to the 20. No need for the onside kick. Dennis Allen got what he wanted out of that timeout. He got a few more throws for McGloin. A little more confidence for him. A little confidence for Kreiner, and a whole lot for, I got to think Bryce Butler is going to make this football roster.
Yeah, he kind of showed up there, didn't he? But he does, you know, again, the Raiders have a lot of guys that look the part. And the one I was waiting for tonight, I thought they might try to showcase him, was Greg Little, but he never really got to be part of the passing game. Didn't even see him play that much. So
had one catch on the night after being jettisoned by the Browns, where he had a bad case of the drops. Former second-round pick. Not seeing that much action tonight. The game is over as the Packers take it 31-21. Coming up next for most of you, your late local news. Aaron Rodgers with a greeting there to Matt Schaub. Eddie Lacy saw one series and he was dominant. For Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson, and Mike Carey, Jim Nance saying so long from Green Bay. We'll see you tomorrow with golf at 3 o'clock Eastern time. And you've been watching the NFL on CBS.